following program contains situations, material, and or language that is not suitable for all listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. The following program is brought to you by His Productions.
The podcast no one listens to, with Kevin Porter. Nice.
Third take is the fucking charm, man. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to an all-new episode of the podcast that no one listens to. I'm your host, Kevin Porter, back for another week that was, oh my gosh, I found myself in the corner talking to myself, saying, hey, man, what'd you do with the joint, dude? Put it in the ashtray. I don't know, dude. What's up with you guys, dude? Fucking stoked to be back for another week here on the podcast, dude. Jason Brummet is making his return onto the show, dude. So totally stoked for the next 2 hours, dude. We talk about it all, man. We talk about music. We talk about entertainment. We talk about movies, video games. We even talk about politics for a little bit. I don't even know, dude. We were recording it, and like, as we're sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, how the fuck did we get on Donald Trump, dude? It's like I was so high, smoking so much weed during that podcast, dude, where, I don't know, it happens to me sometimes. I'll be in the middle of a podcast and I'll just be so fucking ripped, and I'll be like, look at the clock, I'll be like, oh my God, I complete this, I'm so high. Or then sometimes I'm just so high, or I'm so into the conversation, which I think it was like that, I completely kind of just was like, how did we get here? Kind of got lost, but came back. So, I don't know, dude. Next 2 hours is going to be fucking badass, dude. But we'll make it a quick opening here this week. Feeling pretty good, dude. Feeling pretty good. I've been exercising regularly the last 3 days. And again, I'm not looking like, oh, I'm trying to lose 100 pounds or something. 20 pounds. I think I could stand to lose 20 pounds and be happy. But with that being said, the first step is to pull myself out of whatever funk I've been in this last year. Depression, I don't know. A bit of a case of depression, dude, because, I don't know. When you're by yourself, you're in your own head, dude. You can go dark places, man. It's never fun. I don't know, dude. I just found myself earlier this week. I guess it would have been Tuesday. I was just completely out, dude. I was just like, fuck, I don't know. I just, my brain was just fucking dragging, dude. And, it was just not in a fun place. And I was like, there was this thing in my head. It was smashing. It was bam, 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 just smashing. What do you do to fix depression, Kevin? And I know everybody's got their own different answer, dude. I told Brandon the other day, I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to clear my head. He's like, oh, try some mescaline. I'm like, dude, calm down. Pump the brakes. Next weekend. But no, dude, everybody's got their different ways. And, dude, over the years, man, I've just found that exercise is what keeps me mentally going. I really don't know, how I operated all those years without it, dude, because it's kind of once it hits you and you put that good feeling along also with, hard work and sweat, dude, you're just like, oh shit, oh, my mind is clear. I can think clearly. And I'm like, even though you're having, you may have a shitty thought or something, but you're quicker to identify that shitty thought and to push it the fuck away, dude. So it's again, Tuesday, I was in this real shitty fucking place, dude. And then boom, and again, I'm not timing myself on exercise. And I'm like, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm just I'm just going to sweat, dude. So I'm just committing myself every single day to sweat, so 5 to 20 minutes, 5 to 20 minutes. I'm 10 to 20 minutes. I don't sweat after just 5 minutes. Damn, Kevin, you're pretty fucking out of shape, dude. Just I haven't stepped on an elliptical in probably fucking 15 months. My back just went out. Dude, my back did go out. I think I talked about that last week. It fucking hurt. It's feeling better. Feeling good. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just feel a lot better. And as soon as I kind of got back that first day on Tuesday, I was just like, oh yeah, I completely forgot. Why have I been neglecting this? Why have I been neglecting this the past year? It's it's been about a year since I was in a gym, and it's I dude, could easily work out of my home. There's no reason why I'm not. And it's okay, 3 days in. And it's like, thank God I don't know. I think like God or a higher power was like looking out for me, dude. Because that next day I got fucking hit hard with a bunch of bullshit, dude. And like I took it very well. I think if I would have been hit the day before, I would have been just pissy as fuck, mad, angry, losing it, yelling. I probably would have been dealing with a lot of shit. But I was just like, are we still recording? I can't even fucking tell. What the fuck is that shit? Fuck fucking Washington broadband, dude. That shit just dropped out on me, dude. But hey, I still got the recording, so whatever, dude. Yeah, but if that shit would have hit me that Tuesday, like, yeah, no doubt. But it's just like I like it. I enjoy that feeling, dude. Like I just enjoy that feeling of exercise. And again, I'm not gonna like come on here every single fucking week and drown you in a bunch of bullshit. But I think it's important to, at least acknowledge the things that do help us in life. And, maybe it helps for you, maybe it doesn't. That's fine. But it's important that we all find what is important to us. So apparently I have some editing to do because I was on a very limited time frame to record this fucking opening. And now I am stuck up against a fucking hard place. Fuck you, Zoom. Fuck you, Washington Broadband Internet, you fucking cucks. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Brummet is on this episode, dude. Again, this was one of my favorite guests. Almost 200 episodes, dude. Jason, like, I've known Jason since he was my trainer at one of my previous jobs, like almost 2 decades ago at this point. So like I've known Jason for a while, and we always talk and we're always like, yeah, why don't we hang out more? Like, why don't we hang out more? Like, I think those were like our closing words to each other as he left my house last week. Was like, dude, we need to hang out more. And I'm like, dude, and he's telling me about watching a lot of baseball. I'm like, fucking let's watch baseball this season, dude. We gotta do it, dude. We gotta watch the Mariners. See, got my Mariners hat on. I'm ready for the fucking season. So all right, dude, as always, dude, you can check out Are You Ready, a professional wrestling podcast every single Monday morning, 4:20 in the evening. Well, not evening, 4:20 in the afternoon. No, 4:20 in the morning. You're a fucking dedicated person if you're getting up and getting high at 4:20 in the morning and listening to our podcast. So for that, I say thank you. And without further ado, I give you Jason Brummet.
All aboard!
So I've never been like, I can't go down that road, dude.
You
like,
can't nowadays.
Yeah.
I was going to actually circle back to that. Because, I mean, late 80s, 90s, early even 2000s, I could safely pop, and I know I'm really romanticizing drug use. So kids, still watch yourself.
There's a disclaimer on here.
Right, okay.
For a reason.
Well,
it's like, the views of Jason Brummet do not represent the views of the podcast that no one listens to, or it's any of its affiliate podcasts.
Thank you. Nowadays, you do what we used to do. If someone runs by because they're trying to get rid of something, I swallow it. Mm-hmm. With the fentanyl, that can kill me.
Yeah, I know.
It could back then too, but it's like at such a higher scale now.
Yeah.
Well, the kid who just recently died,
Nachos.
Yeah,
okay.
Just was popping pills. It was like only the second or third time.
Was that the one that like was on the high speed chase that was on the news?
No, that's another one.
So
this was just a kid at a party popping pills, and like literally was probably his third time being high, and it was cut with heavy fentanyl, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, close people that, that's where what I think happened to them is like they just like took a little too much or took something that they weren't too sure of.
A coworker. Stepson passed away last year, and that's how he passed away. Just entered in, just was a weed smoker. Like, yeah, I'll try some pills. Yeah, gone because they're cut with fentanyl.
Yeah, dude. I say, like, when I was a kid, man, the only brush that I ever had with that was like I was given methadone. Like, I didn't know it was methadone, but somebody was like, and like you're only supposed to take a tab, like, because it breaks into 4.
Right.
And so I took 4 when you're only supposed to take 1/4 of it, and like I was high for like days, dude. Like, I'm lucky I didn't die, dude.
Well, we were God, I want to say probably 92. Mm-hmm. We were hanging out. Speaking of like your joke earlier, we were hanging out in a parking lot, literally nothing going on, going down, singing songs, and this hippie dude walks up because he came out of the Quickie Mart.
Never a good story to start with a hippie.
Right, right. So I'm getting, Mr. Skinner over here getting ready to thump him. I'm like, fucking grabs my hand.
I can smell the chipuli.
Exactly.
The chipuli.
Fucking patchouli wearing motherfucker.
Yeah.
Take your Birkenstocks off. Anyways, but they always had good drugs. And so, which is why I was always friends with everybody. And I've been to 4 dead concerts.
But they're in private conversations.
Yes. But anyways, slaps a couple buds in our hands. He's like, hey, man, gotta get rid of some of this shit anyways. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. It was really black. And I'm like, this is sick. So we go back to a friend's house, smoke it up. Well, it was fucking embalming fluid.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, we were so fucked up, dude.
How, what the fuck, is that something that people, would routinely, be doing, is, embalming fluid?
No, not really.
Is that just, really. He was just being a dick or something? Or?
No. It was pretty common.
It was
It just fucked you up a little bit more. Okay. And there was one time, I'm trying to think what the shit was dipped in. It was an opiate. And it fucked my world up.
Like PCP or something?
No,
I don't know.
No.
PCP. I've never done PCP. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's an opiate or not. I think it's more like a stim.
It is. Yeah, it's an upper. But I thank the Lord or whoever powers out there. I never got laced with something with
that's
that.
That's good.
Neither
have I. I think I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine back. I remember he was hanging out with one of our sketchy friends, back in the day, and he went and hung out with other sketchy guys that sketchy guy hung out with. And he told me later that night because he used to come. He was from out of town, so he'd come stay at my house. But I had school or something, so we ended up going with one of our other friends. And he came back. He's like, "Yeah, man, I think that shit was laced." And I was just like, "Dang, dude, I'm glad I was not hanging out with."
Well, that was my first time on LSD. A friend gave me a tab and was like, "It's pretty low grade shit."
Yeah.
No, he gave me the wrong tab. So 3 days later, we're finally hooking back up. I'm like, fuck, dude, maybe it was my first time. And he's laughing. He's like, no, I gave you the wrong one, bro.
I gave you mescaline.
How the hell you been?
Huh?
How the hell have you been?
I've been good, dude. I've been good. We're hanging out. It was before I know, dude. Anybody that can hear it in the background, we got large construction machinery going on in my yard. Currently having the yard built, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah, I pulled my back out there last Sunday, dude. We're
not young.
Out, dude.
You're not
I know,
young
dude.
anymore.
I was standing there. I felt good too because it was a Sunday morning. I was we got up early. We're all out there working and stuff. It was me and my kids and stuff. And I felt it was a real good bonding moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm just standing there and I coughed just a tiny bit. I just felt my back seize up, dude. And I'm I didn't want to be a pussy, dude. So I powered through it for another 45 minutes.
Which is way worse.
No,
which is way worse.
It took 2 to 3 days to fully heal. When if I would have stopped right there and just went straight, took a hot bath, I probably would have healed up the next day to that next morning. But I can still kind of even today I bent over. I was I kind of feel that still.
Ever since my back blowout last year, man, I've learned as soon as there's pain, okay, that's where not push through. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a difference. Not fatigue. As soon as there's pain, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, do it.
Walk it away. Fuck you. Ain't got no pride. Don't care.
No, you got to. I mean, you're just going to fuck. And I knew it. Too, but it was literally we're 30 minutes into doing the work, dude. It's we're, and so my wife showed back up.
Do you got any grays popping in there?
Dude, I got a lot of grays.
All right.
I got, especially in my hair, dude.
I see some. All right.
I was, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'm not as young as I thought I was anymore. It's
okay to admit. It's okay to admit. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at, where I'm okay being 46 years old.
Yeah.
But I am.
Yeah. And see, I'm just hitting 35, so I feel like I've still got, Lord willing, knock on wood, we got some time to go and still out there.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling though, to get old though. I do enjoy it. I do get tired a lot more. I find myself power napping after work a lot. The chair you're sitting in, dude. I was sitting there yesterday. I just came out here. I put a podcast on. I just fell asleep there. I was oh shit, I'm gonna go lay on my futon. I almost fell asleep the whole for the rest of the night.
Easy to do, man. Yeah. Easy to fucking do. And then all the changes we're seeing too, in the world. I never thought I'd see this shit.
Yeah.
Here we are. What, over a year, the 2 week flat in the curve has been a long time.
Yeah. It's been a long time. And, it kind of just became second nature. I don't know. Because how they say you can, you adapt, I don't want to say conform, but I don't know. It just, it just within a snap of a finger, you know, is like, this is life now, you know?
We're not dumb, you know? I mean...
Like, not saying you accept it, but it's just like...
No, there's the piece you have... There's a piece that you have to, because we're not ignorant, we're not rednecks, we're not non-science believers, you know, so we're going to trust science, you know? But, you know, it's funny, because there's the flip side of that, you know, especially coming out of the hardcore scene my whole life, it was always, don't trust the system, don't trust the system, don't trust what's being fed to you.
Right.
You know, and all of a sudden they're like, you know, mask up or you could die. Mm-hmm. So there's the piece in the back, disclaimer, just in the back of my head, we're like, okay, what's up? What's the end game here?
Yeah, what are we moving towards?
You know, but over 500,000 deaths later, it's like, nah, there's no fucking end game. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. And we've watched enough, and I apologize, I could never say this word right. We've watched enough Diespin, you know, the end of the world movies.
Oh yeah, like it's the end of the world.
Well, yeah, like, you know,
yeah. Dystopian.
Mad Max. Yes, thank you. I can never say that word. It's my speech impediment. But we've watched so much of that shit, 70s and the 80s and the 90s growing up, that I guess it
you thought more?
Desensitized? No,
you thought there was gonna be more. You're like, wait, this is it? Where's my
in
motorcycle?
A way, yeah, right. No, at first I was like, all right, here it comes. And then the riots started happening. Sure, say for racial equality, which I'm all for, but I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, system's burning down.
Chaos is fun, dude.
Can't get toilet paper anyways. We're going to be wiping our asses.
It was exciting. Like, it was somewhat
am
exciting.
Am I wrong? Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Am I wrong? It was,
There's an adrenaline rush to it, dude.
It was crazy.
Everybody's drinking a lot. We're like, I'm just drinking all day. And it was like, me too.
That's how we are. You know, we're baking all sorts of breads. And we were, you know, I gained... Oh my God, I've gained probably 70-some pounds in over a year. No, because it started with my back injury.
Yeah.
And then thank God, we're finally back on track and I'm down 20. But
nice.
Yeah, finally. Nice. But I was going somewhere with this. But here we are. I had my first shot Monday.
Okay.
Getting my second shot in 2 more weeks.
Okay.
Microchip feels weird.
Get that 5G rolling through
your
veins. You're like, no. Anytime you go next to it, you're like, you feel that buzz going. You're like, oh shit.
Q really let me down. He really let me down. I don't have any mutant powers yet. I haven't found any babies on the black market. So the coup was a hoax.
He was all bullshit, man. I remember being very sketchy on that shit because I heard about that shit right when Trump took office, dude. Within a year, that shit was popping.
Oh yeah,
dude. And like the whole time, I'm like, whatever, bullshit. And, like just calling it for what it is, dude. And then it turned into like what it turned into, and it's like, whoa, that's pretty intense.
Crazy. The amount of following that.
Well, just like it made your average mom at home, you know, to be like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, you know.
Well, that's just it.
It brought it mainstream to a point, you know. I hate to use that word again, but
well, it is. It gave someone with no sense of worth.
Yeah,
they now had worth.
Good point.
And they had something that the theories were always going to change. The goal was always going to move forward. So they had something to meet their agenda on every morning of breakfast.
Yeah.
So it was just, and I think what bothers me is the people. I've had some friends who I thought were actually smart.
Yeah.
Really go down that rabbit hole. And there's still there's a couple of them that are still hardcore.
It's hard when you get caught up in something like that and you really like if you for whatever your reasons are, you know, you believe it, like yeah, dude.
It shows you what
you come out of it a couple years later and you're like, well,
it shows you what cultism
and
brainwashing, how easy it can happen, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways,
no, manipulation is you know, it's crazy, dude, but I don't know, man. What's up with you, dude?
Not a whole lot. Listened to a lot of podcasts over the last year.
Okay.
Really,
I was gonna say sorry, but like
no,
I was gonna look it up. Like, when's the last time you were on the podcast? It doesn't seem like it was that long. It was like 3 months ago. Like, was it 6 months ago? Like,
it was probably about 6.
Closer to 6. Yeah, because I think it was before I moved back, and I moved back in like November.
It was almost done though. It was still gutted, but like halfway done. You're
so it's probably
very
like
close to moving
September then, like maybe like October, September.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Damn.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I know, it's like every time I hit you up, I'm like, yeah, next time we'll have him like, I don't know, dude, I have so many people that come through this podcast, dude. It's just like,
well, this time And I apologize because completely forgot the vacation we were taking the following week when we had it set up. Good, and then I come back and I'm old. I go to bed early.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, come over around 7. You're like, bro, let me reason with you for a few
something
minutes.
for you.
46.
I'm up. 46 years old. Yeah. I'm up at 3:30.
I don't blame you.
You know, and so it's kind of like.
To bed too,
but then I think it was around 7 o'clock that night.
3:30 is hard.
I was like, I could have just called in the next day. I've got plenty of sick time. Mm-hmm. I was like, God damn it!
Why waste it, dude? I mean,
I'm here now.
Yeah, I mean, like we always make it happen, dude.
We do.
You know, there's always we always make it happen, and they're always great episodes, dude. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts too, man. What kind of podcasts you been listening to?
Music. Of course, we had Toby's H2O, the One Life One Chance podcast. That I'm all caught up, unfortunately, with those. That is a killer podcast. Especially if not even if you're not in the hardcore scene. It's just such a killer podcast. He's so positive about everything, and he's had some amazing guests. And I'm not going to say Chris's name right, but the guitarist for Less Than Jake, I just discovered he has a podcast.
Oh, is he really?
And out of all the podcasts I've listened to, I am obsessed with his.
Really?
Only because I'm like Aspie when it comes to music. I'm obsessed with everything about it. Mm-hmm. And what his podcast is, he'll have a guest on, and that guest is going to pick one of their songs. And that's the only thing they talk about is that one song.
What, one Less Than Jake song or one?
No. Whoever the guest is. So like the last guest was
they're all from
the gentleman
bands.
from Jimmy Eats World, and so he picked the middle, and they break down everything, the tech they're using, the hardware. Hey, why is this bridge here? Is that actually a second bridge that you're going into? I know. Why did you drop tune on this? It gets so technical.
It's all
and it's
nerdy
fucking,
music, like inside lingo.
Fucking great.
Inside baseball. Yeah.
It's fucking great. Check it out. And
he's had some
amazing guests. Amazing guests.
Well, I was like very speculative. Like when you brought up Less Than Jake, I was like, I'm pretty sure we had a pretty long conversation a couple months ago about the new Less Than Jake
and how it sucks. And right now, I am.
That's cool. They have a good podcast.
It is, and I am not. I'm not a hater. I'm just.
But you got to call it for what it is, dude. And that's like teen. You're still playing.
I'm sorry,
Teen
if
fucking
it's not
poppy,
good, it's not good. And I listen. I listen to everything. I go from rap to rock to reggae to fucking oi to fucking hardcore.
It's good. It's
everything.
Good.
You put on my Pandora, it's like an inner city crack baby. Mm-hmm. Running around the neighborhood like Bebe's kid, it's everything.
I got so much going on.
And so it's shitty music. I mean, I love L7. That last album, fucking horrible. Yeah. Less Than Jake. That last album, like we talked about, made me realize, you know what? They're assholes. They're jackasses live. How many times...
They're always dicks when you meet them in person.
They're always dicks, dude.
Yeah.
And Roger tries, the bassist, he tries to play off this really cool... I'm like, dude, you fucked around with me. Hey, fuck you. Yeah. I'm not some crazy fucking fanboy, but you're just a dick in person. And if you're hearing this, go fuck yourself.
Yo, Roger, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
I remember when we met him in person, like, I'm pretty sure we told the story, but, like, the lead singer, the guy that probably did the podcast. Well, like he squeezed like Brandon's hand. Like you ask Brandon Allen next time you see him in person about the lead singer from Less Than Jake. He'll tell you about it.
How much DMT was he on at the time?
None, dude. This is like 6-7 years ago.
Oh, I should have.
He was on just like 2 hits of acid. I think we kept it to a minimum since we were going out in public.
It's funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah. But honestly, check out his podcast. It's a great podcast.
That's good.
That's good. Anything new you're listening to?
Well, I was gonna say, I've been getting back into like H2O lately. Like I've been trying to every time I wake up in the morning now, instead of putting a podcast on, I just put on a CD, and I've been revisiting, and it feels like I revisit them all the time. But I've been going back and listening to the H2O this whole last week, dude.
Oh, great.
All the
I've done that this past year. I'll hear a band on my Spotify or whatever, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'll just dig deep into the discography.
Right.
And it's brought up some really cool shit, which that's one thing I think has been great about this lockdown. I mean, the amount of music I've listened to is like I used to.
Yeah.
So it's brought that passion back. And H2O was one of the first ones, of course, that I just went through. And I go through them pretty religiously. They're one of my top 5 hardcore bands. Because
think so.
There's so much pop to it too.
Yeah.
It's not just your regular hardcore song. And speaking of which, too, that's another thing. With, I just kind of recently got into. I never thought I would be excited about a virtual concert.
Okay.
But I've been doing them.
Okay.
And man, I'm having a blast. So I put it off. There's a couple. I won't name the bands. There's a couple of them. I was like, I still can't do this. I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And finally, Bad Religion came out with the Decades. I don't know if did you get to see that?
See, I haven't. See, that's one thing I haven't been doing a lot of is
all right.
I do the Patreon. I do Patreon.
Oh,
so
sure.
I do a lot of the videos and the stand-up comics.
Okay.
There, but so the virtual concerts though, I haven't really.
I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So let's back up a little bit because I'd be getting drunk on a Friday, Saturday night, and music's playing, and I'm like, man, I need something live. So I started going through a bunch of comedians. Bill, Bill Burr, Doug, all these guys.
all the good ones.
right. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, but it's not. I need something else. So then Fat Mike did his little thing at his house.
Yeah.
And
have you seen any of the behind the scenes footage of that shit?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, that's later down the road. We'll talk about that.
Fucking Fat Mike.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy. So, which was fucking great, Get Dead was on there, Fishbones.
Wasn't Slightly Stupid on there?
Huh?
Wasn't Slightly Stupid?
Slightly Stupid was on there, and I saw them twice back in the day, and I've never cared for them. And I gotta admit, they were great that night. They only played their hard stuff.
Yeah.
So I
bet, yeah, because they're playing a fucking no.
Right, and they only had half an hour or so, not even that. And so it was actually pretty good.
No, they're definitely good, dude. And I like that type of music, that reggae rock music.
Right,
or whatever.
it's in someone's back. No matter what, it's outside. It's in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this isn't sounding too good. Which really, I liked Get Dead before, but seeing
Get
them,
Dead's cool.
I was impressed. Yeah. I mean, they fucking nailed it. And honestly, No Effects. But see, No Effects can play anywhere because they don't care. They're like, as long, and it's true. He said it so many times. As long as our shit's in tune, it's punk fucking rock.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So anyway, I did that. I paid for that. I'm like, all right.
Which I saw a clip of that. It was like it felt,
I think I was extremely drunk when I was texting you that night.
I think so, dude.
I'm glad you didn't get a dick pic. So
I feel insulted if I did it. Jeez.
I know, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. So so I started with that, and it was really great. Drunk, watched it. And so then that rest of that night I went down. Oh, I was drinking margaritas all day. That's what it was.
Oh, nice.
Super drunk. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll pay the $15 to watch Fat Mike's.
It's not bad. I mean, $15 is a good price.
So a couple weeks later, Bad Religion, and I already knew the tour was canceled. They were supposed to do their 40th anniversary tour, 2020. They've been around for 4 years.
I saw him in 2019. Then.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we saw him at that Pumpkin Trouble down there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So they're gonna do this huge tour, and of course, Corona fucking bitch came up and canceled that.
It's like Corona's like, hey, Bad Religion, you want to play your 40th anniversary?
Go fuck yourself.
No, fuck yourself. No, the whole industry, the whole world.
So we're at the point finally where they decide to do, and I'm rambling. They do the Decades. They get set up to do the Decade concerts, which was going to be 4 nights at the Roxy, and it's one for each decade. So you had the 80s was one concert, the 90s the second concert, 2000s the third, and 2010 and beyond the last. It was like $40, and I'm
That's not bad.
I'm not paying that.
$10
I'm not
a
fucking
show.
paying that. First time I saw Bad Religion, I paid $4 or like 75 cents, something like that. No shit.
It's a lot of money, I admit,
so,
but I don't know.
But of course, I'm not spending my money on fucking anything. I've got shit insane. I'm like, you know what?
I have disposable income.
Well, even my wife was like, fucking do it. Just do it. They're your favorite fucking band of all time. Like, you know what, I'm going to. Plus, it was a free T-shirt, so like, all right.
Oh, you get a free T-shirt?
Right? Yeah. Well, that's why it cost a little bit more. It was like $15 less without the T-shirt, but you gotta have a T-shirt.
Really? Dude, I'd get the T-shirt.
I had, you had to.
$40 for that.
And it was cool. It was a different T-shirt for each decade.
Well, it's like you get the shirt from the concert, you know?
Yeah, so it's like
kind of cool.
I took the 90s, because it had a badass American Jesus on it, riding a motorcycle.
Oh, that's cool.
So
they had different shirts for each decade?
Yeah, they had a different shirt for each decade.
That's even cooler, dude.
The concerts are actually on YouTube now, so I highly recommend going and watch them.
Out. Yeah.
They fucking nailed it.
Did they?
I cannot stress how great. There's no one. It was funny because after it was 80s was the first one, so I'm fucking stoked. Drinking way too much before. By the time it comes on, I'm fucking tanked. But it's my favorite band, and they're only gonna be playing the 80s songs. So yeah. Anyways, they start playing. It was right at the very first song. They like look around, kind of clap for themselves. It was so surreal because it's an empty club, and I'm like, man,
you kind of just. I mean, it's a show, but
it really
at the same
makes
time,
you
it's like
think
a
what's
practice.
going on. You know? But anyway, so then it was one each week too. So then it was the 90s, and then they were just amazing. So I'm like, this isn't bad. You know, like the kid watched it with me. And of course, I'm drunk, so we had amazing conversations. Yeah. Because I've seen them so many times live. And of course, all the change up. So then H2O, Toby kind of gets into it. I've been following his podcast, and I follow him on Instagram because everyone who doesn't needs to, because he has an amazing Instagram. Just because he loves music so much too, especially rap. So they decided they're going to do one too. I think it was like $12.50, and it was going to be in his garage, Toby's garage. But he was like, we're going to have, conversation at our table in between songs. And I'm like, all right, I'll do that. $12.50, Yeah. I think with tax was like $15. I've seen H2O 4 times live. They were at the high. This blew my mind how great they sounded. I think I was drunk, and I think I texted you that night too, I think, actually. Did I text you? I think I texted you a pic. This is what I do. I'm just really
We just text a lot.
We just text a lot.
I mean, it's not a common thing.
We need to hang more often, but of course, Rona. But it was great. I never thought I could get into a virtual concert. And I don't know if it's because we've had a good year now of shit that I was so hungry for something. But it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
I think, dude, I think it's, I mean, it sucks that we can't go see him in person, but like...
We're getting closer.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody wear your mask, please.
They did the Super Bowl this year. They're going to do WrestleMania this year at a larger venue. I mean, they just announced that UFC show in Jacksonville. Yep. So that's cool.
I'm scared to see... And I'm not trying to be a naysayer, but I'm scared to see the outcome of some of these events later on.
Well, I know the Super Bowl, I mean, it's been like... They had no
issues.
Yeah, I mean, there's been nothing like major reported or anything.
New York is having shows, Agnostic Front, and Save It All has a show together because they were going to go on tour before Rona, so they're doing a show.
So they're doing a virtual?
No, they're doing an actual live. That's what I thought too. It was the.
But they're actually doing an actual show.
Yeah, I got because I followed them both on Instagram, and the flyer popped up. It was the flyer from 2020, so I'm like, oh shit, okay, they're gonna do a virtual. Nope, they're New York's 30% capacity for clubs, so they're going for it.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, you gotta get it out there, man, because at this point now, like all the clubs that we were going and seeing shows at, I mean, those people are fucking struggling. Like those people.
How many have closed? I mean, seriously,
probably.
Lots.
I mean,
a lot.
Yeah, lots. I mean, like we missed out on going. I mean, the only shows that I had planned that I was going to go see before everything closed down was Mad Caddies that I had already planned.
That's right.
And then we had Tinfoil Hat in March, which I still have tickets for that because they rescheduled it for this coming September. Which comedy clubs are open now here in because we're doing open mic now. I mean,
March 22nd, we're phase 3.
Yeah, right. We're in phase 3, so I mean, shit's opening up. I don't know because I know that El Corazon was talking about how they weren't going to do it until like phase 4 or whatever.
That's almost.
Which I guess it's just kind of up to them.
And you've been to that club before. Club. It's a very tiny club.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point of doing like.
That's just it. Yeah. I mean,
unless you're gonna pack it out,
right?
What's the point?
And that still makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. It still makes me nervous. I mean,
I'm okay with going. I've been, like I said, man. I've been going to like open mics last month or whatever.
And you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, everybody just like wears their mask when you walk around, and you sit down, and you're. As long as
Yakima's weird like that though. You've got a very small group who won't wear their masks. And
people try to get away with it, but I mean, like the club's gotten a lot stricter. Like when we first got, and some people, I mean, they're pretty good about making people do it and shit. And like I don't know, it's at that drinking game place, so like I just go around and play video games. I just take the Lysol wipe with me, clean down the video game. I've been doing it for and like we got a system with the mics where like one cycled out and sanitized before
the next comment comes up. So.
Well, you know, Toby brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, like we're doing all right.
You look at a mic after a concert,
it's dirty.
It's disgusting as fuck.
I've gotten sick off using somebody else's mic before, dude, and it's not fun.
I'm sure.
And I learned that, and I was like, I will never ever use somebody else. Like I always like, even though we always did open mic, but like that was always a joke, dude. It was like fucking dirty ass mic. Like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like. You don't really ever think, like, most people don't ever think about just how fucking, you know, nasty one of those things are. But, you know, now with Corona, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, people are germ freaks now.
So
know?
what's some old stuff that you've rediscovered during this?
Fuck, dude.
Music-wise.
Music?
That's brought it back to, like, yeah, you know what? Fuck yeah.
I think if anything, man, I think like classic rock is something I've gotten back into over the last, like,
okay.
Not to say it was just because of this year, but like, I've really tried, like, because like back in the day in high school, dude, it was like, you know, we listened to punk rock, but we still listened to the radio though too, dude. So it was like
it was always on somewhere.
Yeah, and so like we always listened to the Eagle or whatever. So we'd always listen to just classic rock, dude.
Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, we just listened to that all day, and so like that's how I got into it.
96 point something, wasn't it?
It's 105.
105. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're
good.
Right.
Well, yeah. So I don't know, like AC/DC's, you know, a band that like I always liked back in the day. I kind of just stopped listening to them like between probably like I don't know, like 2010 to like I don't know, again like up into like last year or so. Like so for a good solid 10 years, I really didn't listen to a lot of classic rock. I got away from a lot of it. Rush is probably a good band that I don't know. I know you talk shit. But I like that. I've been listening to the Bonfire.
Sure.
I was listening to Bonfire. They used that Working Man song, dude. So I'm like that's actually a catchy song, dude.
All right. What am I'm talking mad, and I will.
Yeah.
I'll always talk mad shit about Rush.
I love it.
But first and foremost, if you know me, you know me. And I still give them mass fucking respect. Because nobody could do it like
dude.
Rush.
Yeah.
The production style alone, nobody ever will come close to Giddy. You know, he's just... If you could play a fucking, you know... He was playing a 12-string fucking bass and playing keyboards. I mean, Jesus
it's
fucking
talent.
Christ.
Yeah.
They're just an amazing band. I just don't dig it.
I just don't like, I don't know, it was that stupid fucking Paul Rudd movie. That's what, honestly, once I saw he's like, stop at the bass, I'm like, fuck you, Paul Rudd. Like, this is the worst movie ever, dude.
That's fucking Ant-Man, man. Come on.
I know, dude, and he was in fucking Halloween 6. I mean, he's in good, he's in fun stuff,
shit.
dude, but like,
That's
I
better,
just like
fun.
that.
Let's not say good. Fun. Yeah, he's in
Okay.
some fun stuff.
I don't know, Halloween 6, I'd say it's good.
I love his
Most people are
personality.
gonna trash it.
You know, especially when he's on
Yeah.
Conan and he brings the clip of...
I think Anchorman is a fun movie.
No, you know, it was. It
I loved
was.
the first one. I thought the second one was a piece
What
of
about
shit.
some, you know, I've been, past couple weeks, I've been really digging back into the old DC hardcore shit. And then, of course, the original emotional hardcore stuff, the original emo stuff, like Embrace, Right to Spring, and, of course, Fugazi, of course. But I want to talk about ska. I never stopped listening to ska.
Yeah.
But the resurgence of it right now.
It's
you
about
texted me
ready.
that,
like you're like the research. I was like, what the fuck are you talking
And
about?
all my friends have said this, but
Okay.
it's on the cusp. It's gonna blow up again. It's right there.
So is it like with a bunch
Oh
of
my
new
god, I
bands?
got fucking goosebumps just
Yeah.
now. This is because
Okay.
we haven't had something like this in a while. And, you know, the past, I'm gonna say just 10 years. Even though ska's not dead. You just stop listening to it. But let's just use past 10 years. There's been hits and misses. And then all of a sudden, and I know I'm being cliche, I don't fucking care. Then all of a sudden, the interrupters drop. And I don't care what anybody fucking says. Amy Interrupter was like a fucking godsend. It's what we needed.
Who's talking shit?
Who's
give me
talking
names.
shit?
Give me names.
Exactly. And I've got some. Anyways.
Who's talking shit about the Interrupters, dude? They're one of the only new bands that's come out, dude, that where I'm like pumped for.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everything they fucking drop is gold.
All 3 albums, dude.
All 3.
All 3 of them.
I can listen
Front to back, dude.
Yo, exactly.
Front to
That's
back
what I was getting
on
at.
all 3 of them.
So then all of a sudden you're starting to get all these other ska bands popping up. Some good, some bad. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is okay. This is okay. You know, I never stop listening to ska.
Right.
It's always on here.
I want to hear some of these new ones, dude. Like, I want to hear the ones you're talking about.
I'm
It's
getting
like,
at.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden Boss Tones are like, what, you think ska's dead?
Oh, then they
there
dropped
you go.
that. Yeah.
Then they dropped the final fucking parade.
Yeah,
I don't care who.
That was pretty awesome, dude.
I had an asshole friend actually come back to me who I sent it to, and was like, "That's the cheesiest shit I've ever fucking heard."
Really?
And I'm like, "Okay, first and
I
foremost,
give me goosebumps,
if you
dude.
weren't,
It's like,
thank you. If you
yeah.
weren't halfway across the country, I'd fucking clobber your ass right now." Number 2, it's a perfect fucking song. It's the Boss Tones. No one does fucking two-tone ska or ska punk better than them.
Agreed. 100%, dude.
And they have the amount of people they had on that song. And I'm not going to go through the names because the list is huge.
No, it's like, it's legitimate. You're like, fucking jeez. Like, they included
Everybody.
Everyone.
But just to have Amy Interrupter at the very second chorus come... Her voice is so iconic now of ska.
I think so.
And then they have they have Boss Tones on Hellcat Records, which is dropping this album.
Yeah, that's right. They are on
Yeah.
Hellcat. That's
and
fucking cool,
this album
dude.
was produced by Tim fucking Armstrong.
Wow.
It's gonna be fucking gold.
Damn.
And this is what I'm talking.
that just
This
like,
album drops,
Oh, shit,
and
dude.
Ska is gonna blow the.
That's
fuck
coming
back
up like what? Like next week?
A couple
Yeah.
weeks. Yep. They dropped. They got 2 singles. They got the Final Parade and I Don't Believe in Anything,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is another banger.
I haven't heard that song. I haven't actually gone and listened to that yet.
But of course, I challenged this person who was arguing with me. I'm like, I want you to go back and I want you to listen to their whole entire discography.
It's good.
Because I remember growing up with me, you enjoyed them. Well, all right, I'll fucking do it. And he came back like probably 6 days later. Fuck. I'm like, dude. It's like
That's
when
awesome.
I was talking mad shit about NoFX a couple
did you
years
see
ago.
that? Then you see the new
Yep,
poster I got?
yep.
Yeah, I got that the Boss Tones poster.
I think it was somewhere in 2019. It was me and Eric in the lunchroom, and I was talking mad shit about NoFX. I don't know why. I was hating on him. He said that
It was just a random day. You know?
he goes, I want you to go back, and I want you to listen to their whole entire discography. All right, I fucking will. He goes, then I want you to tell me what you hated. And I came back, and I'm like, I ain't got nothing, dude. I ain't got nothing.
Well, it's like people want to like trash on all their new shit. Like which album was it? The fuck, dude. It's got the Ronnie Mags one. You know, I'm trying to fucking remember. It's like self-titled or some shit like that. Like NoFX self-titled or.
Well,
that, I mean, people want to talk shit about that album, but like, I don't know.
I know Coaster they really tried to hate on.
I liked Coaster.
And Coaster was a solid fucking album.
Coaster was really good. Like,
right?
Coaster was really good.
Because that came on the cuffs of
America.
Cookie the Clown. Which
Yeah.
I'm a suicide survivor because I listened to it and I'm still here. Because Jesus fucking Christ, if any album can make you kill yourself.
Cookie the Clown.
Holy shit. I listened to it once. And I don't know if I'll ever listen to it again.
I've gone back. I went back because I remember we talked about that album on the podcast.
It was rough.
Ones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We did.
And I went, and I listened to it the one time, and I was like, I deleted it off my phone.
It's rough.
But like, I did go back and I did listen to a couple of the songs, and it's
Okay.
like, it is rough, but
I love what he's doing. Don't get me wrong.
it's good.
give
I
him
don't know.
props.
He's like weird. It's like Fat Mike's just a weird guy, you know. Because you were talking about his show, and I was like, because I I'll go and like listen to his interviews and stuff. And like he had a behind the scenes interview during that show.
Yeah,
that they did.
when he was showing the Bomb Pops his toys.
Yeah, and he's all just fucking does
Shitty
a line
band.
of coke. He just does a fucking line of coke and shit, dude. Like
He's sober
you know,
now.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I just saw you do a line of coke in like September. But I heard that he's sober.
He's
yeah.
sober.
I mean, that's cool, dude.
And
you know?
he's trying it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey, more
It
props
just
to you.
it reminds me of like because like I'm very open with my cannabis use.
Yeah.
And he's just very open with his cocaine use, and I can respect that. You know,
Absolutely.
drug of choice, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I think ska's right.
Wow.
It's gonna blow up.
I mean, yeah, dude, when you really bring up, like, the Interrupters and, you know, yeah, with the Boss Tones coming out with that, and then, like, I don't know, I've just always loved ska, dude.
Well, that's been the...
And then even, I mean, it's a couple years old at this point, but the Mad Caddies, I mean, they're still fucking rocking.
Yep, absolutely.
Really great music. Because they came out with, like, what is it? It was an EP or whatever. It was like a
it was
track.
just a 6-song, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, and I thought that was pretty. I mean, it didn't like blow me away or anything, you know.
No.
But it was like good quality though. It was still good, like Mad Caddy
they
songs.
did they were on the Brad Noel tribute, and
were they?
And I'm gonna.
I didn't listen to that.
I'm not a Sublime fan. Never have.
I just listened to Robin the Hood the other day. Actually, I put that on.
That's what I was gonna get at. That's a solid fucking album.
I love that album. That was always my favorite one when I was a teenager.
You know, we saw them twice. Yeah, twice, because we saw them. It was before Robin Hood. It was Misfits of Scotcher that they were on.
Uh-huh.
And then we saw them again right before. I'm not a fan, so I don't know. What's after Robin Hood? The album
It's
that
40 Ounce to Freedom.
Oh, right. So it's the one after that blew up.
Self-titled.
It was a self. Okay, that's right. So we saw them right before the self-titled dropped because they were on tour with the Descendants.
It was right before he died. Then
it was, and
so it's like 95.
I never liked them live.
96.
And it's so sad
because he was always fucked up.
I think so. 'Cause twice before we saw them, and he was just wretched.
Okay.
This time they were so on point, and I'm like.
It's probably because
goddamn
doing drugs.
Maybe I don't know. It was so sad because I could maybe get into this, and then he dies, and then the album drops, and I'm like, okay, no, I don't like this. I don't like that.
The self-title. I mean, like it's all. I mean, you got your hits and shit.
Yeah,
like
going deeper into his shit and watching some of his YouTube stuff. He was a very talented man, so I don't want to talk shit. I mean, he was. I just didn't dig it. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not me.
When I was a teenager, I was really into Sublime. That was like one of the when I got into high school, dude. Like I fucking got into Sublime like hard, dude. So it was like Secondhand Smoke, was it like Stand by Your Van?
Oh my!
I never owned that album, but then there was like the Burn Bradley Noel acoustic
dude.
CD that was out there. And
that's
then,
going around hard.
I remember like my first experience with them was like when I first got introduced to Sublime. It was my freshman year, dude. I had debate class. It was my first quarter at Eisenhower. And or trimester, and I remember this chick named Rachel Macias. You don't know her obviously, but she was like super hot, dude. And I'm like a freshman, dude, so she's like sophomore. I'm like, and I had to work on this project, so we did this debate of pro or con against marijuana. Mm-hmm. So she brought the Sublime Greatest Hit CD and played me "Smoke Two Joints," and that was the first song I ever heard.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I'm like, oh cool.
So one of the most solid songs.
Yeah, and then so
cool.
I always did that, where you rip off the Columbia picture, CD place or whatever. So I ended up getting the self-titled album, and then from there, going off the record, I picked up Robin the Hood, and it wasn't until I was older that in my 20s I owned a copy of 40 Ounce to Freedom because then I actually had money. But at the time, Robin the Hood, man, that was my favorite fucking Sublime CD.
It's a good album.
But going into kind of the same thing with the classic rock, dude. I kind of stopped listening to them over the last 10 years. And it really wasn't until the last couple of years where we were driving to go see Pennywise, actually, me and my buddy Ray. So we were driving up there and we listened to 40 Ounce to Freedom, and I was like, fuck, dude, I forgot this is a good album. This is 40 Ounce to Freedom and Robin the Hood are their two best fucking albums.
Oh, hands down.
And but then I started thinking about it. I was like, why, because why did I stop listening to them? I was like, people they hold Bradley Noel at such a high level, but when you really break it down, like you said, or you didn't say, but the reason he may have been not playing very well is because he was always fucked up on drugs, dude. So it's we're just basically dealing with a crackhead. Because what was that one song? He's he's like. Oh, something. He's always alluding to his crackhead fucking use and smoking ice and shit, dude. And to me, I don't know, and again, I respect everybody's choice to do whatever, absolutely. But to me, I don't know, people that smoke crack, I've always kind of just looked down upon in the sense of
I used to.
I don't know,
and
man.
maybe it's because I've been married to a therapist for so long. I don't anymore because how it changes, how it literally physically rewires you. Yeah. Hardcore drug use.
Yeah. I've seen that happen to family members, and it just pissed me off, because
of course
their decision is always just we're the fucking poorest, and it's what are you doing?
I don't know. Maybe I'm such an emotional person anymore. I got so much empathy now. It's which is probably good that we're locked down still, kind of, because I could probably easily be taken. So, anyways. That's a good fucking album, man. I might have to actually re-listen to that. It's been a while. I haven't listened to Robin the Hood and
yeah.
God damn it.
I just listened to that, and that whole Raleigh guy, you sick motherfucker, coming in here, you cocksucker, take me to the loony bin. I
love
that. And then Warren's on the fucking cover. Warren Fitzgerald from the fucking Bengals.
I'm trying to think what song. Continue the talk.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, I stopped listening to him, and then, like I said, I just got back into him. Man, I've been trying to listen to new music. I'm trying to, I listen to the new... I know this is kind of changing subjects in the sense of, style-wise or whatever, but I did listen to the new Smashing Pumpkins album.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty fun. It was kind of more an 80s, an ode to the 80s or something, That's what it felt like. And I dug it, dude. I don't know. I'm a fan of Billy Corgan. I mean, he owns the NWA, the was it the Northern? It's not Northern. North American Wrestling Alliance? I don't fucking know. I just fucked that up. I lost all my wrestling cred right there. National Wrestling Alliance. I'm fucking high as shit. Jason Brummet, I'm fucking high as shit right now. But
I'm a little drunk.
Nice.
So I was trying to, and this is the problem, is because I don't.
I should plug my computer in.
I'm not a big Sublime fan.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I don't know a lot of their songs.
Yeah.
And one of their songs that I just absolutely love, I'm trying to get the name. God damn it. I'm not gonna find it. Anyways, it was Warped Tour, I want to say maybe 2000.
Okay.
I bet you it's earlier than that. It was probably 98 or 99. Anyways, okay. Pennywise was on, but of course they've been on multiple Warped Tours. It wasn't too long after Brad died, and they did a cover of this song, but of course they did it to punk rock, and it was fucking amazing. Because of course, Pennywise could take any fucking song. They could take a goddamn country song and make it fucking great. And fight me.
Fight me, motherfucker.
Fucking A, Jim. But I can't think of the name of the fuck. It was super, and of course they upchorded it the whole time too. They didn't really change a lot of it. But
a rolling stone. Oh,
that's great. Yeah. See, I sit there, I talk trash, and then you go through their discography, and I start like, yeah, good song.
Yeah, they have a couple. They have Jim covered Boss DJ.
Yeah, that was a good cover too.
Yeah, Same in the End. It looks like is the name of the song probably. At least that's most.
I think that's it actually. Yeah. Speaking of covers, I did this last podcast, and which harkens back to like 3 podcasts ago where I talked mad shit about covers.
Yeah, no, I know.
We spent like a good 20 minutes talking. I was just trashing.
Oh, the listeners, like the emails came in hard after that.
And I ate a lot of crow last time, and now I have to eat a ton of crow.
Oh no, okay.
Which has been really cool because during the lockdown, there's been a lot of YouTube channels where it's all these artists covering other artists, and you've got all these mashups of different bands, covering each other.
Right.
And there has been some amazing fucking shit that I've heard these past years.
Okay.
I'll start with Mickey and his ukulele. If anyone gets bored, please, for the love of God, go to this guy's YouTube channel, Mickey and his ukulele. It's Mickey from the Fairtones. Great punk rock band. He started off first just covering punk rock songs, just him and his ukulele. Then a couple other people were like, hey, we want to jam with you, but of course we'll Zoom it. So they did a couple covers, still with his ukulele. Well, now, probably the past 6 months, they've been taking really popular songs and having all these different punk rock artists covering them. And you'll have so-and-so on bass from this band, so-and-so from this band on drums, and it's, for the love of God, please go check it out.
That's awesome.
I mean,
hell yeah.
A good example, I'm going to pull it up because I don't want to screw someone's name, but they covered Sliver not too long ago, but Jesus fucking Christ. So, I got to turn it down because we can't play this because of copyright.
You can play it, dude.
So
fuck
anyways,
you, motherfucker. Fuck your algorithm, bitch.
They cover. So American Jesus was 2 weeks ago. Each week he drops a new one.
Okay.
And of course, if you know me, American Jesus is one of my favorite Bad Religion songs. Mm-hmm. So I walked into this, even though I'm a huge fan of this YouTube channel now, like, oh shit. But
I'm gonna have to drop the strong dislike, fucking thumbs down on this one, guy.
When you leave this podcast, this is the first thing I want you to listen to is this cover of American Jesus because it's Jason Cruz from Strung Out on vocals, and I'm not a super Strung Out fan.
Yeah, neither have I.
But I love his vocals.
They're good.
And he doesn't sing his normal way. Mm-hmm. He drops it a little bit. He's a little bit slower.
Okay.
And I've heard a lot of American Jesus covers. This, oh my God, it's Jeff on bass from Simple Plan, which we'll clown later. Rob from Bowling from Soup, Darren Pfeiffer on drums. Of course, he's from Goldfinger. And, of course, Mickey from the Fairmounts. And for everyone who wants to clown me about Simple Plan,
Aw, dude, whatever. We all got our guilty pleasures.
I was never a fan. I didn't care for them back in the day.
Yeah,
But if you
neither
didn't
did I.
Tap Your Feet to a couple of their fucking songs. But that's just it. He's covered Sliver. I mean, there's so many songs he's covered. And it's a great YouTube channel. Punk Rock Karaoke. They've been doing a weekly thing. And there's just a bunch more. There's so many great fucking covers right now that are out there from all these fucking different artists. Because they're bored. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Jesus Christ. I think it was about 4 or 5 months ago, there was a cover of We Care a Lot by Faith No More. And it had Daryl from Run DMC. It was, oh my God, it was fucking great. And Faith No More, for those who don't know me personally, is my wife's probably old time. Faith No More to my wife is like bad religion to me.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
we're rocking out to it on the TV, on the Comcast, or the Chromecast. And she starts laughing. She's like, look at this. Fucking hater of covers. I'm like, oh, fuck.
She just calls you
She
out.
brought it home because I didn't think about it. So I have to, because those have been fun. And I think there's shit like that we need right now, you know, to take our mind. But, you know, we're past 20, we're in 2020.
2021.
2021. I'm a little drunk.
A little drunk. It's only like 11 o'clock in the morning right now. It's like we had to record this podcast early.
That's the problem working from home. You can drink all day, brother.
Oh, I know, right?
Anyways.
Woo woo!
But yeah, so Scott's coming back.
Yeah, I think so,
Scott's
dude.
coming back.
Yeah, I totally think so, dude. I think, dude, just the Boston's like, I don't know. They definitely, over the years, have just become like one of my favorite bands. And I know I repeat it all the fucking time on this shit, dude.
Hands
but
down.
like the Boston's are like an all-time great.
I've seen Boston's 8 times, and there's not one single time that they did not put on a good show.
Yeah.
And
Dickie Barry just comes out. He's just a fucking consummate professional.
And
they're just like, they come off as just being so fucking well, like a well-oiled unit, dude. You know, like,
and they're so fucking nice. If you see any of them in a fucking crowd, they are the most approachable fucking people. It's fucking. They don't forget where they come from. And I've heard him in quite a few podcasts lately. Dickie, anyways. And Jesus fucking Christ, he's the shit. He's just fucking the shit, cool, dude. His passion for ska itself, for early two-tone and where it comes from, is just, he's a historian. And
dude, when I cut my hair, I'll fucking admit this on the podcast. I cut my hair last year. I looked up Dickie Barrett's haircut. I was like, should I get my haircut like that? Like, I ended up not doing it like that, but like, I looked at it for a second because like he just looks cool, dude. He's got the sunglasses and like, I love the suits, you know. Like, I think that just like, I don't know. I'm a big suit jacket guy, dude. So seeing them come out with like fucking, you know,
they're traditional fucking
two-tone.
I mean,
fucking,
sure, it's got punk,
yeah,
but come on, man. I mean,
it's great.
It's fucking great.
It doesn't even get better.
There is one album I don't like, and I'm not going to say what it is.
Which one?
It's later on. It's now I gotta look it up. And
Was it the one with like the, I don't know, it was like the
people,
Egyptian guy on there or whatever?
No,
like,
it's the people dancing on the front, the cartoons.
Is it Pay Attention?
No, give me 2 seconds. Continue. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, fuck. Dude, I actually, dude, was sitting over there, dude. I bought on eBay, I bought a copy of The Devil's Night Out on fucking cassette tape, dude.
That's such a great fucking...
Yeah, because I don't actually, because I bought, I think it was, fuck. What was the one, I don't know, the one after that. It was like maybe the one after or before. It was like in the early 90s with the blue cover with the...
Well, first of all, The Magic of Youth is the album.
The Magic of Youth. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was like, what, 2007 or something?
Yeah, I just don't like it. I've tried, and I'm not trying to be a dick to them, but it's just, I don't flow.
I remember when I heard that album, actually, for the first time, I was like, we were driving up to Everett. I was going with a Bad Habit 2000. Up there. 2000.
Oh no, 2011. 2000 was Pay Attention, which I really didn't care for too much either.
Yeah. Okay. So no. Pay Attention. I didn't mind Pay Attention too much. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to re-listen to that one. I mean, hands down.
I didn't mind it too much.
Jackknife to a Swan.
That's the one with the guy in the.
Yeah, the one after that, 2009, Pinpoints and Gin Joints. That one, oh my god. I think that one is because he got so. There's more of his punk, skinhead, rock reggae roots in that one. So there's a lot of...
I need to go back and listen to that one again. I haven't...
That's just a good jam one,
okay.
dude. It's so fucking great. And I'm so excited for the new one.
Yeah, man, I didn't even realize like until like they dropped, you know, those tracks here in the last like month or whatever. Like I didn't even realize they were like coming out. I didn't even realize they were coming out with a fucking pause for the selfie. That they were coming out with new music, dude. You know, real quick, dude. Kind of pivot. Fucking Bouncing Souls, dude. That's have you checked out their podcast? It's on Patreon,
it's on my list. It's on my list.
Yeah,
it's on my list. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's cool. I saw they had like CM Punk on there and shit.
Oh yeah, it's and their virtual concert about a month ago was fucking great. That was another good one.
I checked out that documentary that they released on there, like that, because they were for like whether it was like 25 years or.
Yeah, I think it's 25 years.
Yeah, like whatever anniversary tour they went on, like, because like I had tickets for that, dude, but then like I got fucked up in like Portland like a couple weeks before that, and like did a bunch of drugs, and I was like, nah, yeah. So I like quit drinking, you know, at that point. Like I don't know, I stopped drinking for a little bit. And then I was just like, I don't know. I go through these, like, if like you have like one of those bad nights where you just like get too fucked up.
Oh yeah, been there.
Clean yourself up. So I was like, all right, I can't go to a show, so I just gave the ticket away to a friend.
I've done that before.
I regret it. I should have gone to it.
That's another band though that I've seen so many times, and they're just fucking great every time I see them.
Yeah,
every fucking time.
They're I don't want to say underrated, but like that you don't.
They kind of are. They get a lot of smack, you know, and I don't know where it comes from because they write great fucking songs.
They have an acoustic video out of them up at the El Corazon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Acoustic show.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like Anchors Away, like I know that's like a little bit later in the years, but like I don't know. To me, like just
that album dropped.
The first track, dude. The first track, just like I don't know. To me, it's like I don't know. I felt a close connection to that CD.
It's great.
Yeah.
I had a couple friends actually, not just one, that I really hated that album, and I'm like, why?
I was like when I first got into
solid songwriting, man.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Well, the problem is they're skinheads, and they come out of a really rough group. So, and when their first album was really just a bunch of jokes.
Yeah, like Lamar Lavoie.
Right, you know?
East Coast, fuck you. East Coast, fuck you.
But were they not great?
No, I love it.
And then,
I love them.
That's what I love about the Bouncing Souls. You take their early shit and you just start to listen to the whole discography. You just watch them grow. And they've grown into this amazing songwriting group. They're just great. So it's like, don't put a label on them, man. Enjoy it for what it is. If it's a good song, it's a good fucking song.
Of course. Yeah, and that Anchors Away album, I mean, like, I remember
that album did get a lot of flack.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say like the way I got, because like that was like right around when I started like listening to punk rock within the first like 2 years, dude. So 2003. So I only had heard the Anchors Away song on some like compilation or something that I got at the Warped Tour that year, and so that's the only song I really knew. But I always remember seeing the cover, and I thought the cover looked fucking cool with the, like the green and the pirate ship and or like whatever it was. And for years, man, I always wanted that CD, dude. I ended up buying that like last year when I'll have to show you my collection, dude. But like I built up like
that's right. We talked about that. You're actually buying CDs again.
Well, I stopped for now, but like the last lot that I bought, dude, I bought a Weird Al Yankovic fucking lot. So I got like fucking 6 of his albums plus UHF.
You know, I miss. And RIP off the record. I miss back in the day before the internet going to the U section and just climbing through shit.
Oh, that's how I built my whole as a teenager, dude. Yeah. Like I lived off that U section because I never had money, dude. So like, I had to buy like
it's a win.
You could never buy something brand new
because your local record store wanted you to buy used because they made more money off a used record.
Yeah,
you know, than they do a new record.
Yeah.
So and
yeah, we definitely missed that, dude.
There's some good people that worked at Off the Record. Some very knowledgeable people.
Yeah. And my cousin Corey worked at Off the Record.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, his, like, it wasn't, like, my uncle or anything, but, like, on his mom's side, like, apparently, like, his uncle, like, owned Off the Record before they sold it off, like, to the new owners that eventually moved it.
Yeah.
So, like, he was...
Well, I'm trying to think what the guy's name was that owned it.
I don't fucking know.
He was, like, obsessed with blues.
Was he?
Yeah, he knew so much about music, too.
It was a cool little spot, dude.
It was, man. God, saw Voodoo Glow Skulls. Was that 94?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't remind me, Jason. I was like 9 years old, like rolling into I wish my dad took me to a Voodoo Glow Skull show.
I would have.
I took my kid to an MC Lars show. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
And a Cuckoo Kangaroo, like it was like some, it was at the El Corazon. It was at the Fun House up in the front area, but like You know? I didn't drink or anything.
As
like,
much as I miss about El Cozone, maybe it's because I got so many good memories there. Because it's a shitty fucking club. It's so small.
It reminds me of like the Zone or something, which is cool. You know,
it's better than the Zone. I don't know. I've got such a hate for the Zone. The Zone creeped me out.
Did it? Why did it creep you out, dude?
Well, number one, it was the first time I realized I was old.
Because it was an all-age club, yeah.
And there was this just generation gap.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
It was my generation, Jason.
It was
my new metal generation. I know, like all those ICP kids walking around.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some shitty band.
Bunch of metalheads
was trying to cover. It was a Misfits song. Was it Green Earth? I think it was Green Earth. They're trying to cover it. And it was fucking like, oh my god. Everyone's looking at me like, who the fuck are these old people? And I can't remember. I think it was a friend of a friend's kid was playing that night or something. Is why I was there.
Right.
And we were like,
you were already that old.
Yeah, I was that old, dude. I was very heartbroken because that's the club that was Colors back in the early 90s.
Yep.
And I saw some amazing bands play there, dude. You know, I mean, fuck. So to walk in and to see, and I wanted to be supportive because I'll always support local music. And these kids were trying to do their own thing, but it was Yakima.
Yeah.
And it was that crowd. And I'm bouncing. I'm out.
I see, if like something were to come around today, I'd probably I'm not going to an all ages club and hanging out with a bunch of teenagers.
Man. I'm not. Yeah. I'm too old, dude.
I'm too old for that shit. We could do virtual, but
God bless you for Gazi for always playing all ages, but goddamn, there's something about going to a 21 and over club for. I'm really fucking old. Holy shit. Okay.
Well, it's like even Bruising Cues is a 21. You can call it 21 and over because I mean it's a bar. So and that to me would be the equivalent of what we would have now. The closest to any sort of venue that has regular shows that were
Yeah, because Bill's doesn't anymore, even though they used to.
Yeah, they used to.
They were trying. And then just never.
They converted pretty much it over to a comedy club in a sense. These did comedy shows. That was the only type of live entertainment. And then we had open mic there for a year at least. A little bit over a year, maybe. I don't even know if it was actually.
He was bringing a lot of comedians too, wasn't he? That's true. Yeah.
It was a solid C room, D room. Not talking shit or anything.
No, dude.
I did open mic there in Chapman. That was home to me. Fucked up shit, dude.
There's some really shit. I used to clatter back in the day, and then recently, going through the hashtag Free Britney thing made me really educate myself that fuck, girl. Okay.
I've always been a Britney Spears fan, and the only reason I say that is because I always thought she was hot, and then I found out she had the same birthday as her, dude.
Holy shit!
And I was like, dude, you love my life.
I'm Britney, bitch.
I always do this joke. I used to do this joke about back in the day. I don't know. I don't even know. It was just some stupid joke where Britney Spears used to be the crush of my life or whatever, but then I found out she had herpes.
What?
But then I'd still hit it. Yeah. Well, no, dude. If you look up online, dude, sometimes I get bored, dude. Jason Brummet, sometimes I get fucking really, really bored, and I'm like, celebrities with STDs. Let's throw that into the Google search, dude.
That's legit.
Paris Hilton, fucking Jessica Alba, Derek Jeter's apparently a fucking whore.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
He gave a bunch of chicks fucking herpes, apparently.
Holy shit.
Which is fucking crazy.
Derek, dude. You dog.
But, yeah, bringing it back, I've always been a Britney Spears fan, dude. So, now that I have my niece staying with me, so, we'll, in the car, dude, we just rock Britney Spears the whole time.
But that's just it.
I love it.
I mean...
It's good pop music, dude. Her new album is solid, dude. That's
I was going to say that. It's actually
it's
pretty good. And you guys can clown me all you want. She's one of those singers. And once again, I'm going to get a lot of hate. Let's throw on ACDs. There's going to be one song that you're going to tap your fucking foot to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I had a close friend bad mouthing Guns N' Roses a couple weeks ago. I'm like, all right, hold up. I'm like, there's gotta be at least one Guns N' Roses song that you're gonna start singing, that you're gonna start tapping your foot to. He's like, well, there's a fucking couple. And I'm like, okay, then stop hating. Because if a band can do that, right. I'm like, okay. Guns N' Roses was one of those bands where, there's no. I used to say they came out, and that's true. They were one of those bands where it's the right place, right time. They were at the end of hair metal, and they had enough punk sensibility because you know they had Duff, the bass player. And he's from Seattle.
Straight up,
straight up, our amazing.
He was the connecting,
right?
Fucking.
So yeah.
Let me weld that in there. Some hard rock grunge. Yeah. No,
right. So it's like
dude.
Yeah. Oh.
Slash.
Sorry, Appetite for Destruction. That's a killer fucking album. Yeah. Still.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like taking so long. He was like, I was looking up the album list. I mean, got It's So Easy, dude. Like, it's so like Night Train. That was like, to me, that's like, I'm on a night train.
Who the fuck doesn't get up and start pumping their fist to fucking Paradise City?
Oh, I know, dude. Right?
I mean, come on.
As a kid, dude, I used to I remember I had this friend that was all into Guns N' Roses, and because he was also into Poison too, though. So we'd be like, hey, he played that for me one time.
Probably Cinderella.
Yeah, no, I never played Cinderella. It was Guns N' Roses, Eminem, and fucking Poison. Those were the three things he was into, dude. He was the reason I fucking really kind of found out about Eminem. You know,
is Eminem's? Did he? No, he did. I was gonna say, did he get canceled? But nope, he survived.
No, he fought back, dude.
Gen X saved his ass.
Yeah.
Gen X stepped up and said, "Oh hell nah, you're not canceling fucking."
Well, it's good to see people are actually stepping up to this shit. I've seen it a lot more, dude. You're seeing people just kind of calling it out for what it is and just being a bunch of fucking.
It's funny because you have crazies on both sides, and that's the problem we are right now, where the crazies are the only ones that are getting the platforms. So that's why you're seeing it. They've always been there, both left and right,
100%. But now they have a voice.
That's the problem, and the problem with that is that the companies are buying into it.
Oh yeah, dude,
and
big time.
It's sad, but at the same time, we say canceled, but there's a lot of shit that it wasn't canceled. I'm sorry, but the publishing house who owns the rights to Dr. Seuss decided we're going to stop. And this is quite a while ago they stopped selling these books that weren't selling, number one. Number two, they had racist images. It wasn't and that's the problem. People are construing things. Dr. Seuss isn't a racist. There was some racially overtoned material in some of his previous books. And so the publishing house who owns their rights now, because he's gone, said, you know what? Probably a better idea that we stop selling these. We don't need to have a book that has a Chinese man running down the street with slanty eyes, carrying chopsticks with a bowl of rice and a pointy hat. Yeah, you know what? That's racist. Let's call it out. So a publishing house decided to make a business decision and stop selling it. That's not cancel culture. That's being smart. That's
I agree.
Being on the right side of history.
Yeah. But I was not one of those people on there talking shit about
right. But then we gotta go too far the other way, where Bill Burr,
oh god, all that
gets
shit
placed on the Grammys, and so
for no reason, dude. It's like, why is Bill Burr doing the
this poor guy? Because this poor guy thought he was going to introduce something important.
Yeah,
he goes there. And he even says, he bought a brand new suit. What do? They don't even put him on the show. They put him on 15 minutes before the show even fucking starts. What do they give him? The best tropical Latin band. So, you got a white, Bostonian, Irish Catholic guy, and you're going to expect him to pronounce that name?
His enunciation skills are probably pretty poor when it comes to the Latin community.
His is probably on par with mine. Yeah. And that's why
any given person.
And you know what? Bill Burr doesn't fucking care. And that's why you can't cancel him. But anyways, they go too far.
Well, some of the shit they said, they tried, somebody had posted up online saying that he was racist for being married. He was racist for being married to a black lady. You know, and it's what? Where do you come up with this shit, dude?
But that's the problem.
There's too far extremes. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it,
that's the problem when you start censoring things.
And I don't have a problem with Looney Tunes or anything like that, because dude, all that shit, dude, was fucking racist as fuck, dude. Well, so there's nothing wrong with putting a disclaimer on a cartoon.
You know what's funny about that?
70 years ago. There's nothing wrong with that.
People flipped out about, and they still are, about Pepe Le Pew. And at first,
I knew Pepe Le Pew was a fucking rapist.
I'm going to say this right off the bat. I'm going to sound old. At first, I even said, Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on.
Yeah.
Then I read the story.
Yeah.
All it was they removed him from the new Space Jam movie.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was. And then I read the description of the scenes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, that's cringe.
Did he have some rapey scenes
it was
in the new Space
old
Jam?
school Pepe Le Pew.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do Pepe Le Pew, you got to go hardcore.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just, like,
and it was
back.
cringeworthy. And we're beyond the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
We're beyond giving femininity its power. It's not okay. It's not okay to grow up people. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. You shouldn't promote that in culture.
But then they had to take it a step further, and they tried to cancel Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, dude, I don't think they're going to. Speedy Gonzalez.
It backfired. The Latin community came up in an uproar saying, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
He's our spokesperson. It was amazing the people that stood behind Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, France is kind of giving that one because he was French, right? Pepe Le Pew was fucking.
It was
French,
a hardcore.
So,
I mean, yes,
so the French are just like, no, we don't.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Let's
no, it's okay.
And they're not. I don't know. We go too far. It's like with the Dukes of Hazzard, how Nickelodeon stopped playing. Nick at Night stopped playing the Dukes of Hazzard because of the General Lee. It's like, okay, we're going a little too far here, people.
Yeah. Well, see, that it's the thing, man. It's like you definitely need to acknowledge it and learn from it and be better.
Let's talk
so, like, in our
about
new
it.
shit, like, probably should be thrown in, like, rape scenes with Pepe Le Pew, in, like, a new movie. It just...
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but, like, don't erase it,
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's
just learn from it, though.
Exactly, man.
That's why I don't have a problem with, like, saying, hey, take this, put this in context for what it was.
Yep.
And we're better than that now, so, like,
right, let's talk
problem?
about it. And that's why I really enjoyed when I signed up for Disney Plus when it first came out. Of course I did. The Mandalorian. And
I don't know. WandaVision was pretty fun too, dude.
WandaVision was fucking great, and I'm excited for fucking Falcon, dude.
Yeah, and that's this as we recorded. That's tomorrow, dude.
Yep.
So,
but there is an old Disney cartoon, Pecos Bill, and amazing, and most people have seen it, even though they didn't realize they don't remember it, and it's one of the first ones where they put the disclaimer, hey, you know what, people? There's some racial overtones here. We are not going to remove anything from the original artwork.
Yeah.
But this, and I'm not doing justice what they say at the disclaimer, but it basically, and it literally does it, because it says, this is an opportunity for you to talk to your family. And I'm like, 100%. Yeah. Let's use this. It's not hardcore stereotypical overtones. There are just some that are there. So it's an opportunity to be like, hey, Junior, this is how it was back then. This is what, and there's some truths from stereotypes, but this is why we shouldn't go down that avenue. Use it as a microphone. Now, of course, they're smart. We're like, you know what? We're not going to play the Song of the South. Of course not. The Song of the South is like an amazing, hardcore, racist fucking, and for any of these asshole Reds that are listening right now, if you want to go back and defend,
they're going after
you want to defend the Song of the South. I'm sorry. Having a slave walk down the street singing and whistling zippity doo dah. No. I mean, no.
Yeah.
And that's just it. That's another thing too. It's like going back to the left side. It's great that we're calling racism out for what it is. It's great that you have a chance that you could probably lose your job because you opened up your racist fucking mouth. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But where do we draw the line, though, too?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope once
it's an extremely slippery slope. Wow, we got serious there. Holy shit. We went from ska to... Well, because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
In the ska community, we've dealt with racism for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like thing with punk.
I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like when you really truly do see like real racism, like that's like that cringiness and like, you definitely call it out, dude. But like, again, like, stereotypes have been used for generations upon generations as humor.
Yeah.
And like there is, in good taste, like,
Well,
it can be fun.
It can be.
But like, yeah, but when we're talking like we also got to remember the times of the, like we said, and a lot of the stuff coming out in like 1930 was like this, they straight up like, just, it was a different fucking time compared to now.
It was, but at the same time, we have such a different platform where everyone has a voice, and we've seen over the past year what just casually saying stuff on Twitter can do to a multiple amount of people.
Well, it's fucked. Yeah, I know. Dude, people are fucking scared, dude.
Let's look at January 6th. Yeah. I mean, for the love of fucking God, you know, your president didn't win.
Yeah.
I don't care what side you're on. Your president didn't win. Zero proof of fraud. Whether I don't care what you believe. Yeah. I don't care what you believe. I'm just saying there's zero factual proof yet of fraud. If you want to bring me some, you know, people know me. I'll be the first one to be like, cool, let's see this.
Yeah.
Because I won't support no motherfucking president.
Well, it's like any evidence that there was, it was basically there was just not. It was so insufficient, you know. Like even if they did prove that it was fraud, it wasn't going to overturn their election.
We're talking like 100, 150 votes.
And like in the conspiracy of like what the fraud was, like they're trying to make it seem like, you know, whether it was or wasn't, I don't know, you know, but like it's just I don't know, the sheer amount of the idea of you know, like all these people coming together to which I don't know, dude. I mean, first, like, I don't know.
You know, because
it was interesting to listen to. That's
oh my God, the past 4 years has been absolutely magnificent. But at the same time, the past 4 years is what has shown what I've always said about the left, the far left, that they're exact same thing as the far right.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be my way or the highway. That's not how we work as Americans, man. We're here to talk.
Yeah.
We should be able to be complete contrasts from each other and sit down at the table and be like, well, you know what? That's bullshit, but here's why.
Right.
And still be able to go have a beer and hug each other at the end of the night. We don't.
Because we're fucking Americans.
Right. And I'm watching on January 6th, I'm working. And usually
that was a crazy day.
I've got an awesome L-shaped computer desk. So in front of me, basically my office is a mullet. So in front of me, all business, man. To the side of me, it's fucking party time. It's my PC. It's constantly running Spotify, Pandora, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I turned the news on because my friend's like, dude.
Yeah, I know. Aaron texted me. He's like, dude, fucking check out CNN.
Turn it on. And after the night's over, and it's the next day, I was talking to my wife. And I'm like, you know, the one thing, and for lack of a better word, I'm just going to say it this way. The one thing that really broke my heart is I wasn't for Trump. I don't stand with his people. Yeah. But you have a voice. Mm-hmm. And if I will support you, whether you're a neo-Nazi, whether you have your freedom of voice. I mean, period. First and foremost. Yeah. But when they rushed the Capitol building with their slew of Trump flags, and I watched this dude, well, there's multiple of them, rip the American flag down and flew the Trump 2020 flag. Jesus. I'm like, dude,
I didn't see that.
You ripped the American flag down. Oh, there was the one guy who had the Blue Lives Matter flag, and he was beating the cop over the head with the flagpole with this Blue Lives Matter flag. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whoa. What the fuck?
Yeah, it got out of control. Yeah, I mean, these people, I mean, it should, like, I don't know. Like, I just, like, my thing is with it, it's like, I get it. Like, those people should be punished. You should be arrested. You can't do that, No. But at the same time, when the CNN's like, this is the gravest day since September 11th, it's like, come on, let's pump the fucking brakes there. Okay, guys? This is, some people died. Yes, these people are fucking stupid and retarded, but it's just like,
Well, that's the problem with fucking... with
MAGA, fuck MAGA, dude. Fucking MAGA all the way to
the fucking end, and that's the problem with the news. Mm-hmm. You've got Fox... Clearly right.
Yeah.
QAnon, and is it Max something for the far right? And CNN is so far left now. Yeah. Whatever. Trump could have cured fucking cancer, and CNN would have found a way to spin it as evil.
The only time I ever heard anything positive about Donald Trump on fucking CNN was when he launched the bomb into Syria.
Of course, war machine.
Once he was like fucking getting behind that, because that's when they were like, oh shit, okay, baby. Okay. And then there was some talk with like some shit happening in South America, but luckily like we stayed clear of all that shit. But then Biden comes in and within a month, it's like, oh yeah, we're bringing everybody back in. Like it's business. He's like, we're back in, America's back in business. Yep. It's like, of course we are. The military industrial complex is as strong as ever.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
And that's what corporate media, that's what they fucking support.
Thank you.
So.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this out loud. But say what you will about Trump, he kept us out of war and he kept the military complex at bay for 4 years.
I mean, he still contributed a lot to it. I mean,
he put a lot of money in their pockets.
Contributed a lot to the fucking. I mean, he was like, you could probably. I mean, he's just as big of a war criminal, because I mean, he did reduce a lot of it, but like, he's still like he could have done more. But at the same time, though, no one is.
I don't know if I don't know if I could slap that.
I know, like, well, he continued, like, I mean, we technically didn't end the Iraq conflict.
He wanted us out.
Afghanistan, and
he wanted us out. I mean,
I know.
I don't know how much of that was because it was Obama and past presidents.
Well, he kept it going. I think he looked at it as like a business investment, so he's like, we're losing money in this adventure.
But I don't think it was that. I think it's because past presidents had their name on it,
right?
And he had to do whatever opposite of what they did. So I don't think.
Well, he talked about ending like the wars, like when he was running and stuff.
That's
like,
true.
He did like run on the platform.
He's like, why the fuck?
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, he served a purpose, and like I don't know, Brandon Allen like brought it up to me. He's like, because like that was the one thing. Like I was like, well, what, because like I'm not gonna sit here and blindly follow Donald Trump, dude. But I'm not gonna go as far as like to condemn him as like evil fucking Hitler or something, dude. Because like
he's too stupid.
If anything, he's just a shitty fucking president like we've had in the past, but there is something different. There's something different that's going on. Like you said, he did keep like that military industrial complex down at bay for 4 fucking years.
Yes.
So why was that? Where was this coming from? And then I don't know. Brandon brought it up like that Donald Trump was supposed to serve because if you follow the conspiracy theories and the New World Order, it's like with each president it gets worse and worse and worse under from Clinton to Bush to Obama within the last like 80 years or whatever since like the end of World War II. We've just had these series like the military industrial complex was built after World War II. It's continued and it's gotten as big as
that.
Yeah, and it's gotten as big as it is, and we're but here comes Trump though, and Trump's like this different fucking like what's his purpose, right? And Brandon like pointed out that his purpose was to completely divide the country. Which he did. I mean, like we almost erupted into fucking civil war. It felt like
we did
definitely.
It got squashed. Yeah. Let's not sugarcoat it. That was a coup.
Yeah.
It was a redneck trailer trash coup, but it was still a coup.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
you've got too many people outside the country looking in and saying, "Do y'all realize how close you were?" That if you just had a couple more people in the right places, things could have turned out completely different.
I mean, it could have, but it didn't.
We need to remember, as Americans, we're not exempt from shit that we see in other countries.
Yeah.
Because now that there's the investigations going on, and that they're slowly working their way up the paper trail to how far deep this was, and it's starting to get a little bit scary.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think that it could have easily been influenced by, like, CIA, like, whether or not it was, a coup within...
Well, I say...
and like, I don't know, man, because, like, yeah, I mean, it totally could have gone a different way if, like, people, like, it totally could have, but, like, I just, like, I don't know, like, was it... Because to me, now we're seeing like the government's coming at like from like, oh, we have a domestic terrorism problem, which is like
we always have.
But do we though?
Like, we always have, dude. White nationalist militias. We've always had a domestic terrorist problem.
Right.
Any major besides 9/11, any major incidents in the United States has been white terrorism.
But just like it just kind of feels like we're being fed the same shit we were fed during the Iraq war invasion and all that shit.
Of course we are. The propaganda wheel's always going to turn.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But
like,
there's still truth.
But they're now like,
things.
now that I don't know.
There's still truth to things.
I'll let it all play out and stuff as it is, and like if they actually, I don't know, dude. I have a hard time believing that like. The propaganda that we are fed from the mainstream media has legitimacy, in terms because they're the ones, but they're the ones that are pushing. Yes. But they're the ones that are pushing like the narrative, like that we have a domestic terrorism problem.
They're blaming Trump for everything.
Which I'm not saying we don't have. We do. We do. I know we do.
We do. We always have.
The Pacific Northwest is a giant hub for that shit.
Yeah,
I get it, dude. But like, are those guys like, are they going like Al Qaeda on our fucking capitals?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Well, they did like that one instance that could have been influenced by the state to propagandize and turn the wheel on these
those
people.
things. Look at the Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we did.
We have things that have happened. We're not exempt from.
But there was even with those. I mean, there was the idea that there was ulterior motives in terms of the people influencing them to do this in order to achieve a larger goal.
That's what. Let's look at Trump, and that's my issue of Trump. Is he's not smart.
Yeah.
He was a president for his own pocket. Yeah. He made over $1 billion and $3 million as president. Now that we've seen his taxes, he profited, and that's why he became president. It wasn't people are like, well, he just wanted to become president to save. No, he saw a gain, and he saw a way to get out of his troubles. And he's like, fuck yeah, Did
he make that much money?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, it's factual.
Okay.
He made a butt ton of money as the president.
Okay.
Which, is so wrong on so many levels because there's...
Yeah, I know. He was definitely for himself. I mean, he's a selfish person.
You have a man with no teeth, the poorest of the poor in whatever podunk town. Trump speaks for me. Fuck you. The man literally
he doesn't speak
lives
for anybody.
in a gold-plated penthouse.
Yeah, he was full of shit, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, I mean, and I'm not trying to say that he wasn't full of shit or anything, but, I don't know.
He spoke dumb.
Yeah,
There's no other way to say he spoke dumb.
But, I don't know.
I show him. We got ourselves an uneducated president now. Put it out there. That's what it was. And he did divide the nation.
No, he did.
But the problem is...
We served that purpose, for sure.
We allowed it. And the other thing on top of that is by feeding into it by censoring, by feeding into it by taking away his platform, you're making him even bigger than what he was.
Right.
And where do we stop? Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about Twitter because no matter what, at the end of the day, Twitter is a privately owned company.
Right.
Yes, it's a public forum. It's still privately owned where they do have the right
of course.
To silence whomever they want. Just unfortunately. And then
I know they're censoring, social media's gotten fucking bad, dude. I've seen a lot of people just within subgroups that I'm on Facebook, these horror groups and stuff, and people post horror memes and shit. And, they're getting flagged for violence. It's because
there's no human looking at it. It's just
it's an algorithm.
But I've got some shit that's thrown me in jail that was non-political,
anything. You got thrown in Facebook jail?
A couple times.
Oh, wow.
And they were bad.
I got a warning a little while ago, but
don't get me wrong. There were bad memes. It's like the one on, it was a split meme, and the one on top,
right?
It had a bunch of girls together, and it says, "When we go out doing girl shit." It's one of those inspiring memes. And on the bottom was the clip from American History X when he curb stomps the guy.
Oh, jeez.
It was funny. I'm a funny guy. And I got 30 days for that. But it was just an algorithm.
Yeah, Facebook frowns upon American History X.
They do, and it doesn't matter if it's... there was another one where I can't remember exactly what the meme said, but it was the Ku Klux Klan. It was making fun of the Klan.
Yeah.
They threw my ass in jail without ever reviewing it.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm speaking against them.
Dude, I got because I follow Legion of Skanks and whatever. I'm on their private group.
Let's do a U-turn here.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're going down a really just ugly fucking road.
Well, that's politics, though. Politics is fucking ugly. So it's never a fun experience. I've never, I don't know, not to say, walk away from having a positive experience, talking about politics, but, I don't know, dude. It's like that ugly fucking cousin in the background. You're like, hey, I just want to fucking...
It's just, we've always had conspiracists, but they're so big now. I mean...
Well, it's fucking mainstream, dude. We were talking about... I guess we talked about it. We're going an hour and a half at this point. I'm losing fucking sense of time and... what was happening 10 minutes ago? I don't remember. That's the scariest moment, dude, when you're driving a car and you fucking realize...
Wait a second. What the fuck?
I don't remember, I've just been coasting this whole time, dude. I'm not even, paying attention, dude. And then you're like, fuck, did I hit something? You're like, no, dude. If you hit something, you'd fucking know.
You fucking know.
You would know. I hit a deer one time. I was like, that was my proof. I was like, now you know what it's like to hit something.
Yeah. Well, I was coming back around because I wanted to ask. So you've been doing some open mics.
Yeah, dude.
And you feel pretty comfortable Yeah,
dude, last night, dude, I fucking I had like one of the worst bombings I've ever had, dude. It's seriously, dude. Like, no, like, cause like I like coming back, I was like, all right, I want to do the strike because like I really felt like when COVID hit, like I was really like dedicated to the craft, and I really had a good sense of like the idea of like what I need to do in order to get to that next level.
Okay.
And I was seeing the progress, dude. Like within like from like October to March, dude, I'd seen like. To me, it was like a 180 in terms of like what I was doing, dude. Because like before, I would just go around there and just like fuck around a lot. You know, I'd have like little bullet points. I'd just kind of go up there and fuck around, like you just kind of make something. But like, and I just like I would record it, but like I'd always have my phone with me and stuff to look at my phone just in case. But now I'm like I was really like applying myself to like memorizing it all and just putting it all together in my head and just having it there, dude. Like working it out, because like. I don't know, dude. I've done plays in the past. Sure. And that was like to me, it was like kind of a connection. Is like it's like, well, like, when I did plays, like I memorized all my lines. Like, why am I not like really applying myself to this and doing this? And like I said, like I was seeing progress. So coming back, the first couple times I went, I had all new stuff. Like I didn't do any of my old shit. Came up there with like 3 or 4 new bits. So I went there 2 weeks in a row, and then I stopped going because, like, just like with COVID, and just like I don't know, you have like down weeks, and I don't know. I kind of went through a down period there for like a little bit, dude. So I was just like, I don't know, like I was just it's like, and again, like it is what it is. But like last week, I made myself go last week because I've been like this last week and stuff. I've been really like I said, like I've been listening to like music and stuff in the morning to like really pump myself up. So I've been listening to Pennywise and H2O, like first thing, just positive mental attitude, dude, just like pushing that forward. And so, like, I forced myself to go to open mic last week, and I went up there, and I just, like, I didn't have anything prepared, because I was just like, all right, I just need to go do it, okay? I just get up there. And so, like, I kind of just riffed off my phone, and, like, it wasn't good, but, like, at the same time, it felt good to be up there, and, like, I did get I got, like, one, good little spot that, like, good, what I thought was good. And, like, you got to remember, I'm, like, being 100% critical on my shit, dude. Sure, so it's just, like, it's never good. So anyway, this last week I just been really busy, so I haven't had like enough time like really to sit down and like put shit together. So like yesterday I sat down, I put together a pretty like solid list of stuff, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to do the same thing, and like I don't know, I hyped it up too much in my fucking head. Brian Brisky ditched out right before I fucking went on stage, dude. It's like he went up first. And then I was going up third, and he was sitting there, and he's like, I'm taking off. I'm like, dude, I'm literally about ready to go down. So he's like, sorry, bro. And I went up there, dude, and I just, like, I fucking, like, froze so hard. Like, I did my first joke. Like, it didn't help that there was a guy that was sitting in the back, like, that, like, I knew from when I was in elementary school. And some of the jokes I was doing, like, are pretty fucking personal. And I was like, I kind of like, hesitated, like, in my head. So, like, I just really froze up and started, like, internalizing myself. And, like, I kind of like just broke down in a sense, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I finally got through this one joke, and it took me like 3 times to kind of start it, and like people were just like, oh, uncomfortable, It's like, because again, it was a major bomb, dude. So like, I'm just eating shit, dude. And I finally get that joke off. I tried doing one more joke, and I just like, I bailed like with 3 jokes to go, dude. And I was like, dude, like I recorded it, like I'm never gonna listen to that, But it taught me what my weak game, where I'm weak in my game right now, and like what I need to focus on. I just need to like again go back to basics, and all those bits that I want to do, I'm gonna go back and do them, but like I'm just gonna memorize them and flush them out.
What you think is bad sometimes with the re-listen isn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
Let's look at.
I walked out of the fucking venue, dude.
I was gonna say let's look at Halloween 3. I mean, it's kind of. Sometimes it's like, well, it's not that bad. Then you rewatch it.
Well, I mean, like, and I get that. And that's what I was, the week before when I was riffing, dude, I had a pretty good little riff session where I was like the same thing. I was like, it felt like completely new. I said all my jokes. I said them like decently, and that was it. As long as I said them good and like it was a little bit of practice on them, you're good, right? That's what the purpose of open mic. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I just like haven't bombed like that in like a while, dude. Like, it's one of those. I'm going back next week, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm going to build off it.
It was time.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was time.
Go through the valley, let's get on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
Look at me, progress. Yeah. Look at this guy. I know.
It was like, I don't know, even just talking about it right now, it was like very painful. It was a very painful experience.
Hey, I am here to help you through it, my brother.
I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to walk you through your darkest moments.
I appreciate it. Just take my hand. We'll play some Faith No More, dude.
That's right, and we'll just run through the tulips. Everything will be good.
Oh man, have you seen that movie Midsommar?
I have not, and I don't know if I will.
Yeah,
it's
worth going. I mean, if you're gonna watch it, it's fun to watch. But
I might. I mean, I heard it's really good. I that's the problem with me though. If too many people tell me to watch something, I won't fucking watch it.
How many people have told you to watch that?
A lot.
Ah, man.
And which is fine. And first and foremost, I'll get a lot of flack. I'm not a big horror fan.
Oh, what the fuck, Jason?
I know, right? And they bore me.
Okay.
Now, I am a big 70s to maybe mid-90s horror fan.
70s is a good time.
70s is the best time.
Yeah.
70s is the best time. The more, and this is weird with me. I don't know what it is about my psyche.
Yeah.
The more B-rated horror film, the more I'll actually be scared. The more shitty the cinematography, the more shitty the music, the more freaked out I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make you go bump in the night, man.
So I'm a cop guy. Cop movie, war movie. I'm so fucking red-blooded American when it comes to. I'm so stereotypical when it comes to a 46-year-old man in TV and movies. I want cop dramas. I want thrillers.
Yeah. You ever seen Maniac Cop?
Absolutely, dude. What about Wolf Cop?
I've never seen Wolf Cop.
You are missing out.
Okay.
Because I know you're a B movie fan. Wolf Cop and Wolf Cop 2. Fucking amazing.
It's
a werewolf cop. How could it not?
Yeah, right?
But there's something about cheap production.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think it's my age, because I was a kid during that time. So seeing those things I weren't supposed to see. And I had a very overreactive imagination as a kid, so I got scared easy.
Okay.
I have abandonment issues.
Okay.
No, for real, I do. And
so do I, dude.
Real life horror stuff freaks me the fuck out to this day. Like, there's a movie.
Murder?
Huh?
Like murder? Like,
Well, yeah, that's why I love thrillers so much, but like nuclear war. Like, The Day After.
Okay.
Me and Brandon were talking about that a couple months ago. He posted a clip from The Day After.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen this. And I saw that when it was live on TV. That movie scared the shit
I saw
out
it.
of
I've never
me.
seen your comment. Yeah.
Because,
it was like a Russian scare.
It's not one of these things where there's no other way to say it, because I'm not trying to be like, you young kids don't understand.
Yeah.
But you don't, because you weren't there. So you don't get that Reagan had it so fried in our brain that we're going to walk around a corner. We're going to get nuked. We're going to go to school. We're going to get nuked. We're going to go to church. Fucking commies.
So that's how it was on terrorism.
Yes,
when I was growing
exactly.
up, dude.
Exactly.
Like,
That was just a new narrative is all that was.
Yeah.
And so with my overreactive imagination, watching The Day After, which honestly for the time was a very provocative movie. It showed the right before, the during, and the after of a nuclear holocaust. And what could possibly happen. And we were right there. We were right fucking there from nuclear war. I mean, we were. And that scared the shit out of me. So this asshole, fucking Brandon. Brandon, if you listen to this, you go fuck yourself. I love that guy.
He doesn't listen unless he's on the episode.
Okay, well, I love that guy.
I'll be like, yeah, you should listen to the one with Jason. Why should I listen? You should listen to the one with Jason.
He goes,
hour 35.
You need to check out, and what was the name of it? Tracers? Or something like, I don't know.
Like
it was I love that movie though. It was the British version of The Day After. And he goes, this is much more traumatic.
Oh, whoa.
Like an idiot.
You watched it.
So immediately after saying that,
How many times Brandon sends me a movie on YouTube, I just like pass.
I say I'm not going to watch it.
I go and check it out usually.
I flat out said I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
And then a week goes by. I'm like, well, maybe just a clip. So I watched the clip. Freaked out. Right? Right? So then I wind up having to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm still having fucking nightmares.
Yeah.
And it's a great movie. Mm-hmm. But it's that 70s or 80s, that shit freaks me out, man. And I think that's why. I think it's because of my youth. It's because that's what freaked me out as a young kid. Mm-hmm. Sneaking in and watching shit I wasn't supposed to watch. Titties is one thing, but when you have really crappy music and really fake gory blood, it was like, You know, but then I couldn't stop watching it though either. You know, I loved all the Friday the 13th. I love campy shit.
Yeah.
You know, but
Friday the 13th is pretty good. I like the Friday, especially the early ones. Like everybody's always like, oh, you know, Jason looks all badass in part 7, but it's like really looking back, it's like he does. It's the best makeup effects. But like part 2, part 3,
but, you know,
I don't know.
I had a good conversation with a friend of mine about that. Those weren't really horror movies. They were more slasher films. They weren't really horror until later on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Jason in Space, was that Jason X?
Yeah.
You know, I was so pumped for that movie. And then you got like 5 minutes of him at the end.
Yeah, well, he was like, yeah.
The cool
Jason. That was Jason Goes to Hell. Because that was the one where he transformed into bodies, right?
Well, no, that was Jason Goes to Hell.
Right.
But Jason X is when you have the cyborg one at the very end. And you're supposed to have it throughout the whole
he suits up at the end.
Yeah. And it's really? You're going to give me this at the fucking end?
I understand.
You gave me the money shot? I should have had multiple money shots.
Right.
You know?
I understand.
That's why I was...
That's a fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment.
Very fair.
I look back on Jason X and like, I actually thought it was a fun movie. Like,
I did at the time. Maybe I'm just old and cranky now.
I don't know. Freddy versus Jason, now on the other hand, like, I remember for the longest time trying to be like, yeah, I liked it, you know, but like, I watched it again, like, I rewatched it like last year, dude. It's pretty bad. It's really bad, dude.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's sad to know that Robert Englund will never play Freddy again.
Yeah, he won't play fucking Freddy Krueger again. Yeah. Have you ever checked out? I mean, it was on TV at the time, but you remember Freddy's Nightmares?
Of course, I watched it religiously. Dude.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, fucking.
I think I was like a younger teenager at the time.
They never. Yeah, no, it would have been the late '80s.
Yeah,
it was like '89 when it came out.
Yep.
And I remember it was on eBay, dude. I went on eBay, dude. And like, they don't sell it here. There's never been a copy of that released in the United States. The only thing closest to it, there's 2 episodes that were released on the Blu-ray. There's an extra disc that had 2 episodes. But the full series, all 40 episodes or whatever, were never fucking released, dude.
Can you legally download it?
Well, that's the thing is like you go on eBay, dude. You can straight up some guy just sells like burned copies, so you pay a little bit extra, but
it's all right.
You get I got 2.
It was fucking great. That was better than the movies.
I got it on DVD though, and it's like I haven't watched all the episodes yet, but I've watched like.
It doesn't do Freddy Krueger either, but they're fucking great.
It's just as good as like Tales from the. I mean, it's not as good as Tales from the Crypt.
No, it's not as good.
But like the parts where you see Freddy though are fun. Like I like that.
Friday 13th had a TV series.
I remember that one,
which wasn't too good.
It wasn't like it was like what the fuck was it even about? I remember watching it on the Sci-Fi Channel like in the 90s.
I'm trying to remember now. Wasn't it just random horror?
I don't. It was like it was like.
The late 80s was so great for that. You had all these random TV shows.
Yeah.
Because they brought back The Outer Limits. I was actually 90s. I'm sorry. They brought back The Outer Limits in the early 90s with Henry Rollins. He was the host for like 4 episodes. It was fucking great. And then all that shit just kind of stopped. Now we get shit.
Yeah.
Because everything has to be so overproduction.
Well, it's weird. That's one thing me and my wife were talking about here recently. Like, back in the day, dude, like when you got Stargate in theaters, when they did the TV show, because we were watching the WandaVision, right?
Yeah.
And, we were thinking like, oh, it's cool how like, because when we were kids, like if you got the movie, it's Stargate, then you had Stargate, the TV show. It had nothing to do with Kurt Russell. It had nothing to do with like the actual movie. But now with like with the overproduction and whatnot, we do see like WandaVision or
it's part of the universe. It has to be a part of it.
Yeah. Like episodic TV is pretty fucking cool for that shit too.
Yeah.
So but I forget exactly what I was trying to bring up with that.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, watching Freddy Krueger and shit on the Freddy's Nightmares and shit, dude.
I miss
Yeah.
And I know I'm old, but 80s TV was so much better.
I'm nostalgic for 80s shit.
It's because they didn't give up. And what I mean by that is like you look at Cheers, which was one of the number 1 sitcoms of all time.
I remember Cheers was huge when
it was. Yeah. And there's others that have surpassed it now, but for a very long time it was the number 1 sitcom. And it was a losing money machine. It was horrible in the ratings for the first 3 years.
Right.
So nowadays it would have been immediately canceled. So you have the number 1 sitcom of all time. Today would have literally been canceled within the first season because it didn't have the ratings.
Right.
Because the networks give up so easy. Back then they allowed, and the reason why I say that is like the mid 2000s is when this really started, where they just started like fucking canceled.
Yeah, no, you're
2
right.
2 episodes. Oh, it's horrible. Canceled.
That shit did happen a lot more than
it did. And it's like they started canceling things just because people weren't watching. Not that it wasn't good. There was on TBS, there was a detective show. It wasn't really detectives. They were like PIs, but it was called Terriers, like the dog. Okay. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He was from a Fox sitcom comedy. He was a redhead guy. Anyways, the show, they only got like 6 episodes, and they were fucking great. The writing was absolutely amazing.
It's good shit, yeah.
Me and my wife were like jaw-dropping while watching. We're like, we haven't seen something like this in a very long time, where it's writing, cinema, everything about it's just perfect. And then they canceled because nobody was watching it. And then it was
that's because it was on TBS. I mean, who the fuck
true,
watches TBS?
Fair, that's fair.
Look what happened to Conan. Conan died a slow death over at TBS.
That's very true. Then a couple years later, Christian Slater, because he wasn't getting any big screen shit, decides I'm going to go to the small screen. Oh yeah, that's right. And that's another one. I can't think of the name. He played a CIA agent or something like that.
I know what show you're talking about.
Where he couldn't remember. He like had there was something about his brain he couldn't remember. Yeah. That show the writing was.
Wasn't it like on CBS or something?
It was Fox, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was one of those guys. Yeah, but it was like half a season. They're like, oh, no one's watching. Done. It's like, whoa. Yeah. It's not because I'm a Christian Slater fan, which I am, but it's like the writing alone was insane, and they don't want to because nobody's watching. They don't want to put the effort in. And I'm like, wow. We all got ADHD.
Yeah, one thing I liked about 80s media was whoever the guy was that did the movie trailers. I don't give a shit what fucking trailer he's doing, dude.
It was the same guy.
Yeah.
All the way through the 90s,
yeah, too. I remember when he died here. He died, like, within the last decade. But, like, that guy's voice, to me, was like, that's the 80s. Because he did, like, I've been rewatching Transformers, dude. Yeah. And so he's like, now back to the Transformers. Like, he did all the fucking...
He did all of it,
yeah. Yeah, it was, that voice was iconic, dude.
You knew it was one guy, but you didn't know. And then I remember 2020, and I'm dating myself, but I don't know if 2020 is still on, the news program. He was on...
No, 2020 is still on.
Okay, he was on 2020, and I remember at my grandparents' house watching it. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's the dude. You know? There's a tall building. You know, I mean, this weird shit. You know?
He did all the... I remember because, like, as a kid, like, I remember, like, the first time I really got into watching trailers was, like, the Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street, dude. I had this... I actually rebought it here because, like, as a kid, the very first Nightmare on Elm Street tape I got was this, like... It was oh, fuck, dude. Fucking damn it, dude. I'm trying to remember the fucking name of the production. Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay, yeah. Anchor Bay was an Anchor Bay release from, like, 1996 of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It had a second tape on it that had all the special features. Like, which shit you really... On all the other releases that I have, I've never seen any of this footage. Okay. And it's just a bunch of outtakes from Nightmare on Elm Street. But also, at the very end, after all the special outtakes, they have every single... Up to like, you know... I don't think they played Freddy's Dead or Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but up to, like, part 5.
Wow, that's cool.
They gave every single trailer up to it. And I was like, just as a kid, I remember, like, oh, cool. So, like, I remember, like, part 3 is, like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And then at the very end, like, Freddy's hand pops out. He's like, Nightmare on Elm Street part 3, Freddy's back again. It's, like, just so scary, you know? And it's, like...
funny because...
It's that voice, man. I love it.
There's a couple Instagram pages I follow, and it's all 80s oriented.
Fuck yeah.
Because I'm old. I love the 80s, nostalgia, dude.
Yeah, I love it.
And there's so many times, and I'll accidentally click on, I shouldn't say accidentally. I'll be watching something, and below the YouTube video is like, the original Die Hard trailer. So, of course, I'll click on it, and then 2 hours have passed. I'm going through just trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like, man... I don't know, things were groovy back then. You know what's funny though? Speaking of extended, I don't really do those.
The special features and all that. It's one thing I will, okay, you know how you started the podcast, you were like, what are things you've become like acclimated to? That's one thing is watching the extra features.
That's what I was gonna get to.
I literally, dude, I swear to God, like,
because I do now. I've had so much time. I'm like, oh hey, let's watch the 4-hour version of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I've been watching Tales from the Crypt, dude. I've been sitting there.
God, so good.
I've gotten through 3 fucking seasons of Tales from the Crypt, dude.
Is it not crazy how good that show is held up?
It's really good.
I mean, it has held up so.
And there's so many stars in that.
Yeah. Oh,
like
God,
I was watching the one with Michael J. Fox just shows up, dude. It's like because like it has like a breakdown of like people that are in it, and for that episode, dude, there was no mention of Michael J. Fox.
Pre-shaking.
It
oh,
was,
sorry,
dude.
I went there.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was so bad.
Well, he was good. I mean, we're talking like 1990, 91, so he was still hiding it pretty good.
Yeah.
He had to come out to the public. Spin City. Great show.
Wow, that was a great show, dude.
I remember Spin City, yeah. Because then Charlie Sheen came on it.
Yep. Spin City, like News Radio. Well, News
Radio
Radio
was
2000s, wasn't it? Early.
No, it was like
90s?
90s. No, my brother was an extra on that, dude.
Serious?
Yeah, dude. Because my older brother Justin, he went to California in like 1996, dude. Like he was born up here in like Washington, but like his mom lived in Hawaii, dude. So like when my mom and dad divorced, like I know it's like fucking raining, dude.
That's crazy. Sorry.
Great. I love the rain.
I
Dude.
do too.
Me too.
Happy when it rains.
But yeah, he moved down there, dude. So like he tried becoming an actor and shit, and he did like I remember going to my dad's house when he had like his promo photo or whatever hung up.
Oh
and
shit,
stuff.
that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
it was cool. So he was an extra in News Radio. You can see him on Scream 2 when Neve Campbell like walks up into the doorway when she goes in there. She shows up at the college and like I watched the Scream movies a lot, dude, when I was a kid,
awesome.
dude.
They're great movies.
But like, yeah, you see him walk by and stuff, and like he was in some other shit, dude.
Shit.
But yeah, News Radio was a good show. Though.
News Radio was a great show.
Phil Hartman, man, I love Phil Hartman, dude.
Oh, God rest his soul, man. He was.
I remember when he died, dude. I was in like middle school when that happened.
Talk about underrated.
Yeah. Very underrated.
Until he died. Yeah, I mean, he was the guy that people forgot who he was.
Yeah, he was in a lot.
He was
in
everything, dude.
Yeah.
And he nailed everything he was in.
Yeah,
everything he did, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah. Like his run on Saturday Night Live, like that. Like I remember as in high school, dude, because like I didn't watch that because
those were one of the best years, man.
Yeah, I was a little too young when it was first, because I was like 6'7", you know, but like they always ran the reruns on Comedy Central, dude, when I was in high school and shit. So like we'd like go to. I remember we'd get lunch every day and we'd go to this like classroom and like watch it. So I spent like a whole trimester just watching all those back, dude. And like Phil Hartman, like especially his work on The Simpsons, obviously.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
not
right?
saying, you know, I mean,
my dad and me got in an argument because that was one of my favorite eras of Saturday Night Live. You know, the late '80s.
Yeah.
And then going into the Adam Sandlers and stuff. And my dad was like, no, it was those late 70s, you know. And I'm like, you know, it made me think, I'm like, well, stop. You know, yeah, the late, when it came out, was absolutely ground fucking breaking.
Yeah.
And I could watch any of those. It was a cocaine-fueled fucking...
Yeah, I mean, it was good years.
It was amazing.
100%.
You know, but each decade has its little couple years of it'll never be able to repeat itself.
Right.
Group of... And that's what's so cool about Saturday Night Live and its longevity is that each decade has its one little fist in your face that this is perfect. And then shit. Perfect. Shit. Perfect. Mm-hmm. You know, what any sitcom is going to be like that, you know, especially that long running. You know, and he finally admitted, he's like, no, you're right. I'm like, well, you know, you're old and stupid and senile, so your taste has changed. He's like, no, he agreed with me. He's like, you're right.
Right.
Like, cause what? I mean, Phil Hartman was fucking Chris Farley. Jesus Christ. You know? Right. I mean,
you had fucking Rob Schneider. You had fucking Chris Rock was on that shit. I mean, like the names
they all were, dude.
Went on to like, I mean, even like following that though. I mean, just Will Ferrell coming out. You know, like I don't know. That's when I remember that's when I was a teenager. That's like the first one Saturday Night Live that I was watching. Like I was watching like 2000, you know, 2002, like Sherry O'Terry, like Mike. Oh, not Mike. What was that?
Will Ferrell played the best George Bush Jr.
Oh, dude.
I mean, Jesus
his one man show that he did for like Showtime or whatever
was amazing.
Yeah,
was fucking amazing.
It was awesome, dude. I was a big Will Ferrell fan there for a while, dude. I mean, like I don't really watch any of his new movies. I don't know what he's like really coming out with, but like. I'm definitely, like, I'll always go back and watch, like, Talladega Nights, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, dude.
It's a great film.
The first Anchorman.
And I'm sorry, his short on one of the original Funny or Dies with Pearl, the landlord.
Oh, yeah.
Classic. I mean,
yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. I can still cry watching that. I'm laughing so hard.
It's good shit, dude.
You know, that's over 20 years old. I mean, fuck.
It's hard to believe that it's been that long now.
Right?
I mean, like, when you think about it.
Close to 20 years old. Wow, my watch told me I did 6,000 steps while I'm sitting on my fat ass, so masturbation really pays off.
Yeah, I can't wait till I get the video feed in here, dude. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's the most popular episode, the one." Jason gained 6,000 steps in one sitting.
It has been a weak podcast. I apologize, man.
No,
Lockdown's got me beat down.
dude, we did fucking 2 hours on this podcast, man. It was a good fucking episode, dude.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
I'm nearing the end, son.
Damn. Okay.
Nah, man, I
Okay.
like this episode, dude, because this was a fun episode. We talked about
It's
like
been real.
Yeah, man, it's been real,
real.
and like I don't know, we touched on just a lot of stuff that we're focusing on now, and like
This past year is really.
we've done 3 episodes within the span of this last year. I know we did an episode right when the lockdown started. I remember, within the first month or two.
We're not scared.
And then 6 months later, we did the next one, and then 6 months later, we did the next one. So it's like, yeah, it's a capsule, of like a time when people are gonna look back and be like, what the fuck happened?
I think we're tired. I think we're tired and we're ready. And I'm not trying to sound left or right or anti whatever, but we're ready to slowly get back to normal.
I think so.
We're ready, and we can't ignore science. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we need to stop sensationalizing and the fear mongering, and we start, And that's the good thing about Biden being in office is that I hope
Feels like it has calmed down.
well, besides that, because that
to a
kind of
point,
plays. I hope people will see that us sane people like myself will hold him accountable. Because you've had the past 4 years where it's either you're for him or against him, and you got us normal people. We're like, well, no. First and foremost, we don't worship anybody. Second of all, they're politicians, so they should not be trusted. And third, no matter who they are, if they break the law, let's go after them.
100%.
And I'm hoping that people will see that. Yeah, I voted for Biden. I'll admit that. I voted for Biden. But at the same time, if tomorrow something comes out, I'll be the first one like, yeah, fucking hang them. Yeah. The law is the law. I believe in science. I don't think this was a hoax. We're over 500,000. I can't remember what the number is now. It's way past that. Dead. I don't think it's sensationalized. Because I have friends across the world. So we had a friend's daughter who was teaching in China just at the very beginning of it. Right. And just by the luck of the draw, they were in Britain for BreadX, and it wasn't purposely done. She met her mother there, and that happened, which was great because they got to see history change. And then she took a detour to come home before she went back to China to finish the school year because she was a teacher, and was stuck in America because COVID happened.
Oh, jeez.
And
wow.
Well, it hadn't happened in America yet. I never forget. We're at Hobby Lobby of all places, and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck are you doing in America? Yeah. She's like, well, I don't get to go home. And here we are. I'm like, well, you really think... And we went to dinner. It was the next night. We all went to dinner. I'm like, well, if you're in town, let's get this person grew up with my family. Yeah. So we went to Miners, and I picked the brain because I'm like, how much of this is make-believe? Because I was really at that... Early on when it was just in China, I was like, oh, this is so blown
I didn't think it was going to... I didn't think it... Yeah.
Because remember SARS? Like 3 people in America got it. And that was it. And...
I mean, because there was always the tease of like a virus or something coming, and like...
Our whole lives.
Yeah.
How many zombie movies have we watched?
A bunch.
Exactly. How many of those movies have we watched?
I just bought Zombie 3. So.
Exactly. Okay. This is the start of it. Well, and this is a good place to stop because I'm picking her brain... And I'm watching the fear in her eyes. Yeah. And she's an insanely rational person. And she's oh my God. I've never seen a child so smart. She graduated on the same day with a Bachelor of Art in Liberal Arts and a Bachelor in whatever kind of organic sciences or something. She's just extremely smart. And she's like, this is scary stuff. This is really scary stuff. And of course, still, me was like, I've seen Mad Max, whatever. And then all of a sudden, month to the date, it enters the U.S. And of course, it enters Washington first, basically.
Dude, I went to Seattle Like literally the week before they closed everything down, dude. I went to Seattle and saw fucking Doug Stanhope, dude.
Yeah, I think we actually talked about this on a previous podcast.
Yeah,
because we were about a half a month prior. We went to see Slapshot's 30th anniversary show, which was my last concert.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it hit.
Corona.
And I'm like, oh, it's just that makes sense. And I'm not trying to sound racist. It's like it's an Everett, like Stevens. It's a port city, so that makes sense. It's gonna just, and then it's like, what was the movie of Tommy Lee Jones from the late '90s? Outbreak, and they show, Patient Zero, and he was the monkey.
Yeah.
So you just see the map, and they're like, well, this is what it's gonna look like, and the map slowly starts turning red.
Yeah.
And that's all I kept playing in my mind is like that. I'm like, is it really that bad? And then all of a sudden,
and then those movies from the '80s come back. You're like,
that's what it was. And I was like, grab all the fucking toilet paper but that's just, I don't want to.
It's like we talked about at the beginning, dude. There was like there's a certain like, as scary as it was, there was like a certain like, oh wow, at least like it was something different, and it wasn't like mundane shitty life anymore.
We were excited.
Not to say it's shitty life, but normal life.
We were
and stuff.
excited.
And,
I'm not a prepper, per se, but I grew up with that. My family grew up with that, where you stockpile certain things: beans, rice, toilet paper, yada yada. You always make sure you have enough to get you through about 6 months, because those are things you're going to use. And there's a reason why we did that, and ammo and whatever. But regardless, so when it hit,
find ammo now,
which is funny because that's just it. When it hit, there's almost this validation to what I've always said growing up that my wife and other people have made fun of me about.
You're just like, hey, look at this.
I'm like,
smart guy here.
Look what I got, bitch.
Look what I got.
And the ammo thing's funny because what people don't realize is there's a lot more than just the pandemic that plays into it. So, and not to get too political, is because it really has nothing to do with political. So first and foremost, people don't realize is that the main piece of Bremerton went bankrupt 2 years prior to COVID. And Bremerton
I remember hearing that.
Bremerton at one time was the number one maker of primers, which is the piece that goes into the munition that causes the fire, the little piece of paper.
Right.
They made that. So they went bankrupt. So Winchester was like, well, we'll pick up the mantle here in America. So they were now the number one makers of the primers that all the other ammunition companies bought. Well, COVID hits right off the bat. They were already filing bankruptcy papers.
Winchester?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not just a subsidiary of Winchester. The ones who make the primers and shit. So what people don't realize is we had two major ammo companies file bankruptcy that made primers. It was a perfect storm. And then COVID hit. So these munition companies had to close their warehouses because of COVID. So nobody was making it. Well, of course, people are going to stockpile. And COVID hit. And then, for lack of a better term, all these liberal states like California, they're like, oh shit, I'm going to buy a gun. Then they realize, oh shit, I created too many gun laws. I can't buy a gun. I can't just walk in and buy a gun.
Right.
And it's funny to read these stories. And then, so these are the same people that start stockpiling ammunition.
Oh, okay. So it's just a mad dash.
That's where we are. And that's where we still are, is that it's the toilet paper thing, because a box of 9mm will come in and it'll be gone the same day.
Yeah. There's too much.
A perfect example is my wife is in Arizona.
Yeah.
And I don't like getting too far into things because I don't like people knowing certain things about me, but I'm an avid gun owner. I won't say how many. Have been my whole life, though. I grew up with it. I'm very responsible. I'm very left-minded, too. But here we are in Arizona, where you think, okay, things should be back to normal. My wife's like, we're going to the Bass Pro Shop. Can I get some ammunition? I'm like, sure. She immediately sends me yeah, that's where we still are today.
Well, my wife, like, the whole year has just been like, we're going into a food shortage, da-da-da-da-da. Like, we ended up, like, taking money and, like, buying a whole fucking, like, freezer full of fucking meat, dude. Like,
she'll eat it.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's so growing up, and that's only because we grew up around ranchers and stuff. We always had we always bought beef. And moving in with Terry, Well, and I always hunted too.
Yeah.
So moving over to Terry, I was still hunting, so we'd still have elk and deer. And then I slowly stopped, but we'd still buy sides of beef every year.
Yeah.
So I always had a freezer full of food. So when this pandemic hit, I had literally just bought a side of beef probably a month prior.
Right.
And so Terry's like, holy shit, I never realized. I'm like, this is what I've always told you, that it only takes one little thing to snowball.
Yeah.
And the cost so many. It takes one little accident at a traffic light, and then the train hits the car, and the train was carrying this cargo, and it's just infrastructure, man. And we were in a perfect storm where, and that's one thing, God bless him, I know people hate him, but Obama called it. He said America is not equipped for a pandemic. And he said that right before he left office. And he says, we need to better ourselves. I know that old people are like, he knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming.
Well, yeah, duh, because any common sense person were like, yeah, we're going to be fucked if something
He hands off the keys. He hands off the keys to Trump. He's like, all right.
Here we are.
Break the car, buddy. This
That's
is you.
just it.
This is all you. Destroy the nation. You're the one that pulls this.
I know I'm a Trump hater, and please forgive me, but honestly, he ignored it. He even said, oh, it's a liberal hoax.
Yeah.
He had people dying. But that's just it. But then the far left were just as bad. Look at Como.
All these governors got fucking trigger happy, that's for sure.
Well, Como needs to be fucking in jail.
Yeah. Well,
By
Newsom's
putting
getting
all the-
recalled.
Huh?
Newsom's getting recalled.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're
not going to do... Washington's not going to do shit about it.
I'm sorry, I don't argue with people, but Inslee, to me, didn't take it that far.
Yeah.
He stood behind the science.
Well, we closed down, but it's like, I mean, for the most part, I mean, shit kind of like was open though, you know what I mean?
It was. That's where these people who are going off and shit. It was like
certain things were closed. Like certain things were closed, but like most restaurants stayed open.
Why isn't Costco closed? Well, because it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
They sell groceries.
Yeah.
Well, why can I go to Home Depot and it's packed? Well, because Home Depot wasn't following the CDC recommendation at first.
I was gonna fucking Home Depot.
I'm just using this as an
I go to
example.
Lowe's, motherfucker.
Right, I'm just using it because I saw
white,
that
blue.
so much. I saw it so much on Facebook. They're using Home Depot and Costco.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain it to some conservative friends of mine that you're not sitting down for an hour at a grocery store.
Right.
And if they were following the CDC guidelines, only X amount of people were supposed to be in there, which allowed the airflow to go better, which causes
That's
COVID.
like a big warehouse. Dude.
Exactly. But that was my problem with the second lockdown. Was that, okay, wait a second, these restaurants are doing what they're supposed to do. They're only sitting this amount of people. They're creating the better ventilation systems. And which going to Seaside was really neat to see all the new ventilation systems in place at the restaurants because they're like hard.
So we didn't really go to like any restaurants when we were there, so I didn't see.
I was impressed, and it was funny because we drove up to Long Beach, Washington, and it was the complete opposite. They're like, "Fuck you, we don't need no mask. We'll fill our store," and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a happy medium with everything.
Well, it's like you said with the second lockdown. Yeah, I mean, like we'd had people open during the summer, and I think people because they didn't really take any input for the counties or anything. It was basically just like.
Well, he admitted he got the numbers right.
But I mean, like California though was like on way more of a stricter lockdown. There's other states that were.
Well, that's why Joe Rogan left.
Yeah.
And you don't blame the guy. I mean, that's just it. That's who I am. I'm a middle person. I'm going to look at both sides.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was like, hey, I'm being taxed to death here.
Yeah, California.
Two, it's impossible for me to bring in guests. And he only brings in guests when they've been tested. And, I mean, he's following all the guidelines.
Yeah.
So why can't he? So that's what he's like, fuck you. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Texas. Yeah. And so now Elon Musk is. I mean, a lot of people are going to Texas. Yeah. But then on the other side of things, you can't go as far as Texas has gone like last week and be like, we're 100% open.
Well, same with Florida. Florida's open too. And
Florida never shut down, but that's why even the South hates them. That's why they call them the Panhandle. Everybody hates Florida, boo. Everybody. Florida wants to kill you. They're the Australia of America. Everything in Florida wants you dead.
The Australia of America. I've never heard that one.
It's why it's called the Panhandle, son.
All right.
People don't want to go there. If it wasn't for Walt Disney, there'd be no Florida.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sorry.
Beaches are nice, I guess.
No, fuck you, Florida. Been there, done that. Never want to go back.
Never want to go back.
Hate Florida.
Well, that's where we ended, Jason. Fucking, I hate Florida, dude.
Have you back soon, son.
All right, son. We'll be back soon. See you guys later.
This podcast has been brought to you by Pizza Productions.